Chapter 576. Little Yun, can you sense the aura of the little sky-swallowing sun wolf? Yes, I should be able to. It's 17 degrees north of the west, young master. Okay. In the blood-mist forbidden land, Lin Feng sped along. Since he was here, there was no reason to miss such a good opportunity. He had let the little sky-swallowing sun wolf go last time because of his promise, but this time, he was free. Heaven Demon Tharch Wuluan was not a good person. He wanted to use the primordial Skyfiend's soul to harm him. There was no reason not to take revenge. Besides, they were enemies, not friends. Are we going to catch it now, young master? Little Yun asked worriedly. You want to wait until the transformation lightning tribulation is over? Lin Feng knew what Little Yun was thinking. It was psychological fear. The sky-swallowing sun wolf was a natural enemy of the five-tailed snow fox. Heaven Demon Tharch Wuluan was even more lofty and had the aura of a superior demon. Once he caught the little sky-swallowing sun wolf, he would definitely incur the wrath of Heaven Demon Tharch Wuluan. Little Yun said softly, I'm afraid, Lin Feng said, there's nothing to be afraid of. If Heaven Demon Tharch Wuluan had the ability to affect the lightning tribulation, he could have killed me that day. No matter how angry a tiger in a cage is, it's still locked in a cage. But the little sky-swallowing sun wolf is different. Little Yun asked suspiciously, why? Lin Feng smiled. Once Heaven Demon Tharch Wuluan knows why we are here, he will definitely hide or protect the little sky-swallowing sun wolf. It will be difficult to kill it again. Whoosh! A beautiful red figure looked around curiously. What a thick blood mist! Qiandao Yufeng was astonished. Her pair of beautiful eyes flickered. This is not the Nirvana world. It should be a part of the blood fog forest. So, the seal just now is not the real ancient seal. And I understand. Smiling charmingly, Thousand Islands Yufeng was in a good mood. This should be the treasure land Lin Feng found. A total of 1 million pure blood sacred pearls and pure mist sacred pearls were obtained here, including the blood-red pearls. Her beautiful eyes revealed a look of desire. To Thousand Islands Yufeng, the only thing she lacked now was a perfect body. Just one step. There must be a secret here. There must be something wrong if something is out of the ordinary. The seal is fake and has been hidden for countless years. The blood-red pearl might not be the greatest treasure here. Qiandao Yufeng thought for a moment, then suddenly raised her eyebrows. Legend has it that crimson blood came from the Nirvana world. Could it be a mistake? It's very possible that the source of crimson blood came from this. If that's the case, then the secret of the blood fog forest being shrouded in blood fog all year round. Qiandao Yufeng had a bold idea. The more she thought about it, the more shocked she became. Her full chest rose and fell rapidly, and her sexy red lips whispered. However, as soon as the thought flashed through her mind, Qian Island Yufeng's face changed drastically. The terrifying demonic beasts in the distance enveloped her. Sky-devouring lion wolf. It was a giant wolf that was emitting raging flames. Its demonic eyes were like blazing suns, shining brightly. Crack! Crack! The heaven-devouring demonic wolf's body swelled, and his muscles were exposed. His roar was filled with extreme pain. His muscles were incomparably firm, and his aura was constantly rising. The bulging blood vessels were horrifying. Behind the sky-swallowing wolf, a gigantic image of the heaven-swallowing sun wolf appeared. Its aura was shockingly powerful. Demonic beast, sky-swallowing demonic wolf. Qiandao Yufeng's beautiful eyes were filled with fear. Young master, something's wrong. Xiao Yun's voice was a little panicked. What's wrong? Lin Feng didn't understand. Xiao Yun was a little nervous. The aura of the sky-swallowing demonic wolf suddenly increased. It's very strange. How strange? Lin Feng's face was slightly solemn. Xiao Yun's voice trembled. Its aura has surpassed mine. No, it's far beyond mine. And there's a feeling of him. Him? Yes. Lin Feng didn't ask any more questions. His gaze fell not far away, and his eyes flashed brightly. Because he had already felt that the sky-swallowing demonic wolf was in front of him. He also felt the powerful pressure of the heaven demonic emperor Magus wheel, and the rapid changes in the energy of heaven and earth. There was no doubt that it was a sign of battle. Whoosh! Floating in the air, Lin Feng was surprised. A human and a demonic beast were in the midst of a fierce battle. Just as he had sensed and seen, the sky-swallowing demonic wolf and the heaven demonic emperor Magus wheel's aura suppressed the other party like a hot knife through butter. It was a red-clothed woman with long blonde hair. She was in a sorry state now. 1,000 Islands Yufeng? Lin Feng laughed involuntarily. He had seen her once in the Crimson Blood Lake. At that time, she was high-spirited and full of vigor, like a high and mighty empress. But now, she didn't have the slightest bit of nobility. Her red clothes were tattered beyond recognition, and her heaven-ranked inner armor was full of scratches. The most miserable thing was that half of her face was fiery red, and a lot of her golden hair was burnt. Her aura was even weaker. She was suppressed by the sky-swallowing demonic wolf. Strange. Lin Feng was puzzled. He knew the sky-swallowing demonic wolf's strength very well. It had just passed the transformation lightning tribulation not long ago, and now it should be in the transformation stage, the same level as Xiao Yun, which was the human fetal stage. But now, the sky-swallowing demonic wolf's aura was at the essence condensation stage. So when Xiao Yun sensed it earlier, it was very strange. But the real strange thing was not here. 1,000 Islands Yufeng is a 7-blood assassin. Her strength is even stronger than Meng Xiao. Lin Feng knew very well that 1,000 Islands Yufeng was obviously stronger than the sky-swallowing demonic beast at the essence condensation stage, unless she was seriously injured. But there was no reason that she couldn't even defeat a demon beast at the demon god level. 7-blood assassin, that was the strength of a Nemo expert. Lin Feng stared at the battle. Soon, he understood. It's not that 1,000 Islands Yufeng has become weak, but the sky-swallowing demonic wolf has become stronger. Lin Feng saw clearly that the sky-swallowing demonic wolf was definitely at the essence condensation stage. Its blue veins were exposed, and its blood vessels were protruding. It was more like an upgrade after using a secret technique. But the real key was the sky-swallowing demonic wolf behind it. Heavenly Demon Emperor, Wizard Wheel. What a strong combat ability! The strength of a essence condensation stage, and its combat ability is at least a level higher. Lin Feng nodded secretly. Just like the 7-blood and 8-blood assassins of the Blood Tower, with Zizhou's strength, they could display the strength of a Nemo expert. The reason why 1,000 Islands Yufeng was at a disadvantage was that her combat ability was indeed inferior to the sky-swallowing demonic wolf. It's terrifying. If it weren't for the limitation of its body and level, it would be even stronger, just like the real sky-swallowing demonic wolf. Lin Feng thought of the battle between the primordial sky demon Qi Yan and the heavenly demon Emperor Wu Lun. The sky-swallowing demonic wolf's powerful bloodline and combat ability were fully displayed. It was amazing. The sky-swallowing demonic wolf in front of him was quite similar to the heavenly demon Emperor Wu Lun. Its explosive power in close combat was supplemented by the elemental energy of fire. It was like a mini heavenly demon Emperor Wu Lun. Lin Feng was stunned. Chapter 577. Looking at the little sky-swallowing young wolf, Lin Feng was deep in thought. Swoosh. Obviously, there was a reason for its sudden increase in strength. It was completely different from when it was captured by him. Now, the little sky-swallowing young wolf seemed to be possessed by the heaven demon Emperor Magus Wheel. The image of the sky-swallowing young wolf in the void was very clear. He had fought with the heaven demon Emperor Magus Wheel many times in the Blood Fog Canyon. If it had exploded like this that day, I would have died long ago, Lin Feng thought to himself. It was comparable to the top of the 7 blood assassins of the Blood Tower. Even someone as strong as Qiandao Yufeng was struggling to hold on. She was not a match for it at all. Back then, it was difficult for her to even win against an upper-level fierce god-demonic beast. If she were to face the current sky-swallowing Sunwolf, she would definitely lose. Lin Feng didn't know that the Heaven Demon Emperor Magus wheel also wanted to explode that day. However, the transformation Thunder Tribulation had just ended. The little sky-swallowing young wolf was seriously injured. Although it was the blood essence of the Heaven Demon Emperor Magus wheel, its body couldn't withstand the explosion of blood essence. Its body has only increased in strength. It hasn't formed an essence core. Lin Feng watched the battle carefully. Demon beasts walked the path of transformation. The key was the essence core. Compared to the inner core, it had a higher level of power. It was like the transformation of human life. If it forms an essence core, with the help of the Heaven Demon Emperor Magus wheel's consciousness and power, it would be at least a 9-blood assassin. Lin Feng clicked his tongue. Even so, the little sky-swallowing young wolf was already very scary. Its body was weak, but its use of the energy of heaven and earth, and its performance was definitely at the master level. It was as if a martial arts grandmaster had possessed the body of a child. Although this child was very weak, when it came to fighting, his combat strength was enough to surpass that of a normal martial artist. Qiandao Yufeng, it's over. Lin Feng shook his head. Even if it were him, facing such a powerful little sky-swallowing young wolf, it would be difficult to win. Even if Qiandao Yufeng was faster, she didn't even have a chance to escape. She was completely restrained and controlled. Lin Feng sighed in his heart. If she hadn't broken into the blood fog forbidden land now, I would be in big trouble. Lin Feng stared at the battle. He frowned. Too unlucky. Qiandao Yufeng was panicking. She never imagined that she would encounter such a terrifying heaven-devouring lion wolf not long after entering this mysterious place. Even though she was a 7-blood assassin who had carried out countless missions and survived many near-death situations, she couldn't even find a chance to escape. It was too terrifying. She had never seen such a terrifying demonic beast. Although the bloodline of the sky-swallowing sun wolf was extremely strong, its combat ability was far more terrifying than one could imagine. A condensed essence beast did not even have an essence core, and only relied on its physique that was similar to a lower-level human. He was able to bring out the top combat power of the 7 bloodshed assassins. What kind of monster is this? Qiandao Yufeng's complexion was deathly pale. Half of her cheeks had been invaded by fire energy, and she could no longer care about her appearance. There was only one thing in her mind. Run. Escape from this terrifying place. I don't want to die. Thousand Islands Yufeng was hysterical, as if she was crazy. The flames in front of him exploded, and clouds of fire rose from the ground. Together with the close combat attacks of the sky-swallowing demonic wolf, there were no gaps at all. Bang! Bang! The light of the fire was dazzling, and the sky-devouring lion wolf roared. The entire earth was like a meteor. Ah! Thousand Islands Yufeng's face was distorted. The skin on her hands was like burning iron, and the Luan Feng rose behind her, and the power of fire burst out. She was going all out. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. The eruption of Thousand Islands Yufeng. It was out of his expectations. What a strong flame control, what kind of bloodline power is this? Lin Feng was curious. He thought that the sky-swallowing sun wolf could easily kill Thousand Islands Yufeng, but he did not expect the situation to turn around. Thousand Islands Yufeng, who had been suppressed, suddenly erupted. Her body was like a Luan Feng, and the skin on her hands was red with layers of scales. Even his appearance had changed. Beast transformation. It was the first time Lin Feng had seen this kind of bloodline power. This was not a heaven-grade treasure, but a power that was emitted from within, just like his own titanium-grade body. Thousand Islands Yufeng had been suppressed by the sky-swallowing demonic wolf, and she instantly turned the tables and began to counterattack. Powerful, Lin Feng thought. The situation had become evenly matched. After the eruption of the bloodline power, Thousand Islands Yufeng and the sky-swallowing demonic wolf were evenly matched. The confrontation between the flames made the whole earth like a huge furnace, and the fire energy was scattered everywhere. 7 blood assassins, a top-level confrontation. Fortunately, I avoided it before. Lin Feng secretly thought that he was lucky. Thousand Islands Yufeng's trump card had been revealed, and her strength had increased dramatically. If he had continued to fight, it would have been difficult to escape the encirclement of Meng Xiao and her. 7 blood assassins were indeed extraordinary. But Lin Feng looked at the center of the battle, his eyes shining. She can't win. Lin Feng's judgment was very accurate. If it was a fierce demon beast, Thousand Islands Yufeng might still have a chance to win, but she met the cunning heaven demon Emperor Wu Lun. Even if he possessed the body of a sky-swallowing demonic wolf, his experience and combat experience were far from what Thousand Islands Yufeng could compare with. Heaven Demon Emperor was a top existence in the Nirvana world. However, it was impossible for Heaven Demon Emperor Wu Lun to easily kill Thousand Islands Yufeng. A battle of blood. A battle of life and death. After Thousand Islands Yufeng transformed, her eyes were full of fierce light. The power of the Luan spread throughout her body, and she fought fiercely with the sky-swallowing demonic wolf. But now she couldn't care so much. Even if she couldn't kill the sky-swallowing demonic wolf, she could at least find a chance to survive. Damn it! In the canyon's golden tower, Heaven Demon Emperor Wu Luan's face was ashen. The explosion of blood essence was indeed a small part of his consciousness that controlled the sky-swallowing demonic wolf. He had full confidence that he could kill the greedy human. Who would have thought that he would meet this human woman first? Heaven Demon Emperor Wu Luan would not let her go. He killed whoever came. Who would have thought that this human woman's trump card was so strong? After a battle, he could not stop the human woman from escaping. The sky-swallowing demonic wolf was injured. Forcibly stopping it would only destroy both jade and stone. I'm so angry. Heaven Demon Emperor Wu Luan emitted green smoke. When I get out, I will kill all these damn humans one by one. Damn it. Boom. Thousand Islands Yufeng finally exploded, her eyes full of bloody light. Her blood-red hands, like branding iron, burst out a huge column of flame, and collided with the sky-swallowing demonic wolf head-on. The aggravation of her injuries increased the distance between them. Avoiding the underground column of flame, Thousand Islands Yufeng endured her injuries and fled. She had not been so embarrassed for a long time. Seriously injured. Kill Lin Feng, wait for the next chance. Thousand Islands Yufeng bit the tip of her tongue to stay awake. Failing the mission was nothing, saving her life was the most important. Burning her blood to escape, Thousand Islands Yufeng used the last of her strength. Feeling the pressure from the sky-swallowing demonic wolf behind her disappear, her tense mind finally relaxed. But suddenly, Thousand Islands Yufeng's face changed greatly. No. Thousand Islands Yufeng looked forward, her eyes full of fear. Chi. Chapter 578. The saber light was mixed with the roar of a thunder dragon. The speed was extremely fast, but as the saber descended, its astonishing power rapidly increased like a spring. Qiandao Yufeng widened her eyes in shock. Her bloodline power had already fallen into a weakened state after the fierce battle with the wolf. How could she resist? Hong! Luan Feng burst into flames, but it was like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. Even if Qiandao Yufeng was in her peak state, it would be extremely difficult for her to block Lin Feng's saber, let alone now that she was exhausted. Fall. Taking advantage of others' difficulties? Lin Feng had never thought of himself as a gentleman. Qiandao Yufeng's threat was not small. She was like a poisonous snake, and if he was not careful, he would be bitten. If they were switched places today, what awaited him would be her stinger. Strike first and gain the upper hand. Once she joined forces with Meng Xiao, the situation would be very unfavorable for him. Moreover, there's still this. Lin Feng looked at the monstrous flames in the distance, and the wolf that was roaring and chasing after him. His blood boiled and his fighting spirit burned. The saber just now was just a warm-up. What he was facing now was the mutated wolf. If it was the wolf that he fought with Qiandao Yufeng before, Lin Feng admitted that he was no match for it. But now it was not much stronger than Qiandao Yufeng. There's a chance. As Lin Feng watched the entire battle, he was naturally clearly aware that not only was the heaven-devouring wolf's body injured, the image of the heavenly demon Emperor Shaman wheel behind him had gradually dimmed down, and his pair of eyes that burned with bright light and were peerlessly ferocious had lost their luster a long time ago. Clang! The black saber shook violently, and Lin Feng's aura surged. The best chance. Fight! Facing the howling of the sky-swallowing wolf, it was the enemy's turn to rage. Boom! Blood mist forbidden land, canyon golden pagoda. Crack! Bang! The demon Emperor Wu Luan's pillar-like body trembled violently in an instant, and the flames were like sprites. It made a sizzling sound. With a pale face, the demon Emperor Wu Luan's eyes were wide open, and he roared again and again. Howl! The entire canyon could hear the demon Emperor Wu Luan's furious roar. He was mad. Goddamn humans! I, heavenly demon Emperor Wu Luan, swear that one day I will tear you into pieces. 10,000 segments. Roar! Huff, huff, gasping for air, Lin Feng held his blade with one hand. The black skeleton emitted a dense dark aura that enveloped the entire area. At the same time, it also formed a natural protective barrier, preventing other demon gods and demonic beasts from entering. Lin Feng was seriously injured. Amazing! So strong. Lin Feng's face was deathly pale, but there was no fear. Instead, he was incomparably excited. The battle with the sky-devouring lion wolf was extremely satisfying. This allowed him to learn a lot. Even though he had many experiences and battle scenes of the primordial heavenly devil Qi Yen in his mind, he was still able to gain a deeper understanding of the actual battle. The body that Heaven Fei Divine Shaman Luan was using was even weaker than his. It was a true competition of combat skills. Profound intent is really important. Lin Feng sighed lightly. He did not have a blade art that was strong enough to break through everything. The importance of profound intent in a battle was self-evident. In this battle, the profound intent of darkness in his body's defense, coupled with the whirlpool body, played an important role. Fatal blows again and again. 90% of it was removed. Unfortunately, it's still a borrowed body. Lin Feng looked at the sky-devouring lion wolf that he had killed. He had almost lost. That was a forbidden technique that burned one's soul or blood to unleash combat strength that far exceeded one's own. But, in the end, it was still a failure. As the battle continued, this berserk-like ability extinguished bit by bit like a lamp until it exhausted its strength. Lin Feng stretched out his right hand and pressed it on the sky-devouring lion wolf. Hua! In an instant, the sky-devouring lion wolf disappeared without a trace. Other than the inner core that Xiao Yun can absorb, the rest are also rare treasures. Lin Feng smiled with satisfaction. The sky-devouring lion wolf was born with a body of absolute yang and had top-notch fire aptitude. It was ranked in the top 3 of all the known bloodlines of the wolf clan, even surpassing the five-tailed snow fox. Even excluding the inner core, it was at least worth hundreds of billions of Nemo coins. Naturally, it would not be a waste. He should be furious now, right? Lin Feng thought of the heavenly demon Emperor Wu Luan and smiled weakly. He didn't care. Anyway, he had already offended him. It didn't matter if he offended him a little more. It was better to anger him to death. Speed is not the key. In close combat, the instantaneous explosive power, the ability to grasp opportunities, The transformation between attack and defense, the change in rhythm, the support of profound meaning is especially important. Lin Feng was resting patiently. The battle with the sky-devouring lion wolf had benefited him a lot and he had learned a lot. The heavenly demon Emperor Wu Luan could be said to have taught him a good lesson on how to unleash his full combat strength under the restriction of speed. Someone as strong as the Thousand Islands Yufeng, whose speed was 10 times faster than him, couldn't even escape. This was experience, the precious experience gained from countless killings. The heavenly demon Emperor Wu Luan was a top expert in the Nirvana world. But then again, why would a powerhouse of his level be imprisoned? What secret is hidden in this golden pagoda of the blood mist forbidden area? Lin Feng pondered. Even the Thousand Islands Yufeng was suspicious, so how could Lin Feng not be suspicious? He had a question mark when he first entered, but he knew more than the Thousand Islands Yufeng and knew where the key to the entire blood mist forbidden area was. The canyon where the golden pagoda was. The source of the blood red, the secret of the blood mist forest. Lin Feng sighed and shook his head. Right now, he didn't have the ability to crack it. Wait, prepare. After removing the potential threat of the sky-devouring lion wolf, Lin Feng quickly patrolled the blood mist forbidden area again and confirmed that there were no other threat. Caution is the parent of safety. Transformation Thunder Tribulation. Lin Feng waited patiently. After a day of rest, his body had recovered by 90%. Although it was not as expected, he still had full confidence in facing the Transformation Thunder Tribulation, even if he knew that this was definitely beyond the normal Transformation Thunder Tribulation. For this lightning tribulation, he had made all the necessary preparations. Heaven Low-Grade Holy Treasure, Thunder Kuei Pot. Heaven Low-Grade Battle Armor, Eternal Thunder Pearl Armor. Young Master, be careful. Xiao Yun's voice suddenly sounded. Lin Feng nodded. After absorbing the energy of heaven and earth, Lin Feng adjusted himself to the best state. He could pass the first Transformation Thunder Tribulation without any preparation, let alone now. After a long breath, Lin Feng calmed his heart and waited. He felt the changes in the sky become clearer and clearer. Bolts of lightning gathered, like the fury of thunder. Strange phenomena appeared continuously, bringing with it a power stronger than the Transformation Thunder Tribulation. Crack, crack, rumble, rumble. Thunder rumbled, mixed with a mournful pressure, terrifying to the extreme, as if it could destroy everything. Under the power of nature, humans were like ants. However, today, Lin Feng was challenging the heavens without any fear. He was using human strength to fight against the heavens without the slightest bit of fear. Come! Lin Feng shouted, his eyes shining brightly. Chapter 579. Transformation Tribulation Thunder 3. Transformation Tribulation Thunder 9. Condensation Tribulation Thunder 27. Lin Feng was now very clear about the 3 major tribulations of the demonic beast transformation path. In terms of gossip and gossip, the Blood Tower was indeed not as powerful as the Bagua Palace. The Bagua Palace knew the slightest news, but in terms of cultivation information, the Blood Tower was not inferior to the Bagua Palace. The history of the Blood Tower was quite long. At this time, Lin Feng was wearing an ordinary black martial suit. He did not wear the indestructible Thunder Pearl armor, or even the titanium-grade body. However, from Lin Feng's calm expression, it was obvious that he did it deliberately. Now that he was at the fetus 6th stage, his physical strength was as high as 3rd stage. He directly used his physical body to take it. He was not trying to be brave, but to maximize the benefits. Boom! The first tribulation thunder fell. The power was tyrannical, comparable to the top attack of the fetus 6th stage. However, Lin Feng did not even move half a step. The Thunder Dragon embryo star was incomparably dazzling, as if it had been hungry for a long time, crazily devouring the tribulation thunder energy. The soul of the earth also began to absorb, increasing its strength. Good. Lin Feng felt very good. The tribulation thunder energy could not only increase the level of the soul of the earth and the thunder dragon embryo star, but the cells in his body were also excited. Every time the tribulation thunder energy was absorbed, it would increase the most direct reaction to the thunder elemental energy. This was the greatest value. Rumble, rumble. The second, third, and fourth tribulation thunder energy began to increase. Lin Feng also began to use the titanium grade body to absorb the tribulation thunder energy to the maximum. Whether it was the whirlpool body or the profound meaning, the sage treasure armor would offset a portion of the power of the tribulation lightning. It was a waste. Hiss, hiss. Lin Feng tried his best to absorb. The absorption time was very short, but the effect was amazing. Resisting the tribulation thunder would naturally cause damage to the body. It was comparable to taking the attack of a fetus 6-stage expert, but the more pain he suffered, the more he absorbed. Lin Feng endured the pain, and the titanium-grade body continued to improve, maximizing the benefit. Compared to the first tribulation thunder, he had more experience now. Boom! Heaven was enraged. When the 9th tribulation lightning struck, Lin Feng was still wearing his black martial attire. He used his physical strength to resist the normal transformation lightning tribulation. On the Thunder Dragon birthplace star, the soul of the earth had a full meal. Lin Feng pursed his lips and took a deep breath after absorbing the tribulation lightning's energy into his cells. It's about doubled. His senses were very clear. Lin Feng understood that, just like the holy fruit and the bloody pearl, his cell's ability to absorb tribulation lightning was decreasing. Even so, it was still impressive. Crack! Lin Feng looked up at the sky. Thunder and lightning intertwined, but the thunderclouds in the sky did not disappear. Instead, it became even worse and continued to wreak havoc and accumulate. Lin Feng was not afraid. Instead, he was happy. A faint smile appeared on his face. He had long expected that there would be more than 9 transformation tribulation thunders. Back then, there had been 9 transformation tribulation thunders. Today there would only be more. Come! Lin Feng's eyes lit up. The 10th strike. The 11th strike. The 12th one. Boom! The 7th level of the titanium-grade body finally suffered a blow, and the golden light weakened a little. Lin Feng nodded gently. I've endured to the 12th strike. Not bad. His original plan was to rely on his physical strength to endure to the 10th strike. What a pity. If I wasn't injured, it wouldn't be a problem to endure one more strike. Lin Feng didn't care too much. Small details couldn't affect the entire process of the tribulation lightning. Swish! A one-legged, strange green pot appeared in his hand. The pot was round, and there was a spiral on the top of the pot. The entire pot was engraved with an ancient totem. It was a divine beast that looked like a green ox with 3 legs and no horns. Thunder Kuei. Whoosh! Connected by blood, the Thunder Kuei pot emitted a dazzling light. In an instant, a Thunder Kuei appeared above the pot's mouth. It opened its mouth and let out a roar, its voice filled with joy and excitement. Lin Feng looked at the lightning in the sky, full of confidence. A total of 500 million blood kill points had reached the price limit of a low-grade holy treasure. The Thunder Kuei pot was naturally not ordinary. Boom! The 13th tribulation lightning fell with a loud bang. The Thunder Kuei pot's totem lit up, and the spiral on the top of the pot emitted a brilliant light. The divine beast Thunder Kuei at the mouth of the pot roared and opened its mouth to swallow the tribulation lightning. The aura of the Thunder Kuei pot suddenly increased, like an empty wine pot that began to fill with wine. Suddenly, the pressure on Lin Feng relaxed. Z. The 7th level of the titanium-grade body stabilized again. The remaining tribulation lightning energy was absorbed again. The strength of the Thunder Kuei pot made Lin Feng feel as if he was enjoying a feast. With the Thunder Kuei pot alone, it would have no problem reaching the 20th level. Lin Feng smiled. With a heaven-grade holy treasure, it was much easier to transform the tribulation lightning. The Thunder Kuei pot wasn't just a heaven-grade low-grade holy treasure. It was worth 500 million blood kill points, equivalent to 500 billion Nemo dollars, and comparable to a heaven-grade mid-grade holy treasure. This was because the Thunder Kuei pot itself was an upgradable holy treasure. As long as it was given enough thunder energy to absorb, it could advance. This was because the core of the Thunder Kuei pot's origin was the divine beast Thunder Kuei in the pot. It was born to control thunder and had a divine beast of thunder. As long as the Thunder Kuei absorbed enough thunder energy, it would advance. In addition to storing and absorbing Thunder Saint Chi, the Thunder Kuei pot could also release the divine beast Thunder Kuei for battle. Its combat power was top-tier than the 6 blood assassins. The 17th strike, the 18th strike, the 19th strike. Most of the tribulation lightning energy was absorbed and consumed, and a small part turned into energy and was absorbed by Lin Feng. Unlike the whirlpool body and armor that offset the tribulation lightning energy, the Thunder Kuei pot could store thunder energy, just like the Dragon Kuei pearl chain. In other words, Lin Feng could absorb the tribulation lightning as pure saint crystal energy when the time came. Of course, the lightning energy that the Thunder Kuei pot could store was limited, but it wasn't difficult to upgrade. The more it absorbed, the more its capacity expanded. 3 different forms. When the pot transforms from green to purple, the Thunder Kuei pot will enter the second form and become a mid-heaven tier sacred treasure. Lin Feng looked at the Thunder Kuei pot, which was half green and half purple. In fact, in terms of function alone, 500 billion Nemo dollars could buy a heaven-tier mid-grade sacred treasure that was better than it. Its value was reflected in its advancement. After absorbing enough thunder energy, it could finally transform into the third form, the Black Thunder Kuei pot. A high heaven-tier sacred treasure. Lin Feng was well prepared. Just by relying on the 7th level of the titanium-grade body and the Thunder Kuei pot, he had already withstood the 20th tribulation lightning. Its power was comparable to Zizhou's top-tier attack. Not to mention a demonic beast in the transformation stage, even a demonic beast in the essence condensation stage might not be able to withstand it. But to Lin Feng, it was a rare and valuable improvement. Body, aptitude, strength level, and whoosh! Lin Feng's eyes lit up, and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. The transcendent grade Thunder Dragon Saint Chi had transformed to the 7th level. The absorption rate of the tribulation lightning energy had jumped again. Chapter 580. The Thunder Dragon Saint Chi had barely formed a star at the 6th level. Because of his lack of talent, it was difficult to cultivate Saint Chi beyond the 1st level. Even with the Thunder Dragon scripture, his speed was still slower than the Dark Demon Saint Chi and Alcade Saint Chi. Even so, he had already reached the 7th level. It wasn't a qualitative breakthrough, but the amount and speed of absorbing the tribulation lightning had greatly increased. The tribulation lightning will increase every 9 bolts. Lin Feng didn't dare to be careless. The 19th bolt was much more powerful than the 18th. The 20th bolt was even more extraordinary. Rumble! Rumble! The tribulation lightning raged. Its power had already surpassed the level of Zizhou. The 21st bolt. The 22nd bolt. The improvement of the Thunder Dragon star increased the limit of the Thunder Kuei pot by 2 bolt. At the 23rd bolt, Lin Feng had already started to use the whirlpool to consume the tribulation lightning's energy. It was so powerful that every bolt of tribulation lightning was greatly strengthened. It had already reached the Nemo level. Whoosh! Lin Feng couldn't help but smile when he felt the soul of the Earth's sublimation. With the help of the Dragon Sea Pearl Necklace, the Talent Soul's level had always been higher than the soul of the Earth's, but the soul of the Earth had reached the 7th level first. With the strengthening of his body, his ability to absorb and resist the tribulation lightning's energy had also increased slightly. The last 9 bolts of tribulation lightning are where the real essence lies. Lin Feng was looking forward to it. The color of the Thunder Kuei pot was gradually approaching purple. The divine beast Thunder Kuei roared. Its body was completely different from before. Everything was progressing on the right track. The 25th bolt. Great! Lin Feng took it head-on again. The blood vessels on his forehead bulged. The golden dragon rose into the sky. He used the dark Kuei and used the whirlpool to weaken the tribulation lightning's power. Endless tribulation lightning energy poured into his body. But it was restrained by the true dragon saint power. Lin Feng absorbed it step by step. Zizhou, 7th level. The true dragon saint power was as strong as the tribulation lightning energy. Sizzle! 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 The thunderclouds in the sky were furious. But when faced with an assassin whose combat power was comparable to the 7 bloodlines, humans who were good at lightning and defense couldn't really be shaken by the tribulation lightning. Until now. The 26th bolt of tribulation lightning. Lin Feng was still wearing his black martial attire. Eternal lightning pearl armor. Lin Feng finally took out the low-grade heaven-class battle armor. The key to the whole battle armor was the 33 indestructible thunder beads embedded in it. They were connected to the battle armor and could unleash the power of the battle armor. If the indestructible thunder pearl stored first-class holy chi, then the indestructible thunder pearl armor would be an ordinary low-class heaven-tier armor. However, if the indestructible thunder pearl armor contained first-class holy chi, then the armor would be an ordinary low-class heaven-tier armor. It was one of the best among the low-grade heaven rank. The power of the Calamity Thunder is more than just first-grade Thunder Saint Chi. Just like the true Dragon Saint power. It's even above Transcendent Grade 1. Lin Feng absorbed the disastrous thunder energy in his body. His cells were excited. He had already absorbed all the first-grade Thunder Saint Chi stored in the 33 Thunder Pearls of the indestructible Thunder Pearl armor. He had been waiting for this moment. No matter how small a mosquito was, it was still meat. As for the energy of the tribulation lightning, every bit counted. Come on. Lin Feng looked up at the sky, still confident. Based on his experience and observations, Heaven was about to unleash his most powerful attack and engage in a life-and-death struggle. But this was the final madness. Whoosh, whoosh. The 33 indestructible Thunder Pearls were filled to the brim with tribulation lightning energy. Lin Feng's body crackled with lightning. With the indestructible Thunder Pearl armor, the power that the whirlpool had to withstand was instantly reduced, even though the 26th bolt of tribulation lightning was twice as powerful as the 25th bolt. At this moment, crack, 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 the lightning Kuei pot turned from green to purple. As the tribulation lightning energy continued to pour in, the lightning Kuei pot finally transformed. The divine beast Thunder Kuei let out an excited howl. Its size had increased by several times, and the purple carvings on the spiral veins had become clearer. The Thunder Kuei pot was emitting a faint purple light, and the inside of the pot was undergoing earth-shaking changes. Even the pot itself had swelled a lot. Medium-grade heaven-class sage treasure. Lin Feng smiled slightly. The evolution was just right. It meant that he could store more tribulation lightning energy. Boom! Heaven's punishment. The terrifying tribulation lightning descended from the sky. It was as thick as a 1,000-year-old tree. It had already surpassed the strength of an 8-blood assassin and reached the strength of a 9-blood assassin. The terrifying attack power was unstoppable, heading straight for the ant-like humans in the center of the tribulation lightning. But sizzle, 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 the lightning Kuei pot flashed. Whoosh, whoosh. The indestructible Thunder Pearl armor absorbed the energy. Chi. The whirlpool was activated. Lin Feng's eyes flashed with an intense light. Clang. The power of the supreme-grade Heavenly Saint weapon, Black Lotus, gathered. Endless tribulation lightning energy blasted over. Lin Feng's aura reached its peak. Endless tribulation lightning energy surged in his body. Lin Feng roared, and black haze covered the entire area. He swung his saber, breaking the sea of the seventh limit. The thunderclouds dissipated. The black haze also disappeared without a trace. The forbidden blood fog ground was a mess. A figure in battle armor stood in the center, holding a black saber. He was like an undefeated warrior Shura. He had withstood 27 bolts of tribulation lightning and was unscathed. There was not a single wound on his body. Such tyrannical strength was amazing. He was only at the 7th stage of embryonic week. It's over. Lin Feng put away his saber and heaved a sigh of relief. Above his skin, there was still the violent and abundant energy of the lightning tribulation. His cells continued to absorb it, and the Thunder Dragon embryo star quickly swallowed it. Although his body was still in great pain, Lin Feng's heart had calmed down. Just as he had expected, there were a total of 27 bolts of tribulation lightning. If only there were a few more. Lin Feng smiled. He was far from being forced to his limit. 3 or 4 more bolts of tribulation lightning would not be a problem. Compared to the first tribulation lightning, this one was too easy. Phew! Lin Feng clenched his fist. Feeling the increase in Xiao Yun's strength, he smiled with satisfaction. When Xiao Yun entered the essence condensation stage and swallowed the inner core of the sky-swallowing wolf, his cultivation speed would increase again. He sat cross-legged. Lin Feng was not in a hurry to leave. The tribulation lightning had brought great benefits, and it had increased his strength once again. Especially, thunder aptitude. More than 3 times the previous one, close to 4 times. Lin Feng circulated and absorbed the thunder energy. The further he went, the harder it was to improve, because his body cells had adapted to the tribulation lightning energy. The thunder energy of the tribulation lightning was purer and more powerful than that of the tribulation lightning, but it had only increased a little at the beginning. Even so, Lin Feng was already very satisfied. It's about 3.8 times the previous one. The light aptitude and the dark aptitude are about 10 times the thunder aptitude. The difference is actually not that big. Lin Feng nodded. 1 day later. It's about time. Lin Feng got up. His body had almost recovered 95%. It was time to leave. So that they won't get anxious from waiting. Lin Feng smiled. A sharp light flashed and his silhouette slowly disappeared. Chapter 581. Blood Fog Forest. Plus, damn it, where did he go? He can't just disappear. He must be hiding somewhere. Meng Xiao was like a headless fly, searching everywhere. His face, which was covered with black hair, emitted a wild aura, revealing a fierce look. He was not as smart as Qiandao Yufeng, who had guessed that Lin Feng had entered the blood fog forbidden land. Meng Xiao had not given up, and in fact, he could not give up. Since he had already made his move, there was no way out. Moreover, after testing Lin Feng's strength, Meng Xiao was very confident. That day, he had been caught off guard by Lin Feng and suffered a little loss. As long as he could find Lin Feng, he would not make the same mistake twice. With his strength, Meng Xiao was confident that he could kill Lin Feng. Come out. Lin Feng, if you're a man, come out and fight to the death. Don't hide like a woman. Come out. Meng Xiao roared. His hands turned into claws, cold light shining. He was full of killing intent for Lin Feng. Now that Qiandao Yufeng was mocking him, who would be fooled by this kind of provocation? If he really wanted to hide, he would hide even more. But, however, Lin Feng had really appeared. Looking for me? Lin Feng was calm and composed. The tranquility of the lake was a sharp contrast to the fierce Meng Xiao in front of him. Meng Xiao was looking for him, and he was also looking for Meng Xiao. Enemies that could be seen were much easier to deal with than enemies that could not be seen. Lin Feng would not hesitate to return to the blood fog forbidden land and leave a bomb for no reason. Whoosh! Meng Xiao's eyes lit up, revealing a beast-like killing intent. Haha, you have guts, Meng Xiao sneered. Don't think that you can be so unscrupulous because you had the upper hand last time. This time, don't think of plotting against me again. Lin Feng smiled. Clang. Black saber was unsheathed. Black haze was emitted, and the saber intent soared into the sky. I don't have that intention. Lin Feng looked at Meng Xiao, and his body suddenly expanded. The 7th tier of titanium-grade body was directly displayed. What was different from before was that, currently, the foundation of the 7th tier of the titanium-grade body was fetus weak level 7. Bang! Bang! The Thunder Dragon roared. Lin Feng activated his strongest Thunder Dragon scripture. The 7th stage. No, impossible. Meng Xiao's eyes widened in shock. His entire body was covered in blood, and the armor on his body had long since been shattered. His surroundings were enveloped in a black haze, and it was as if he had fallen into a bottomless abyss of hell. A sharp saber light broke through the darkness in front of Xiao Qin, and a tyrannical aura assaulted him. The Thunder Dragon roared, and the vortex spun. Meng Xiao was already powerless to resist. Boom! The lightning dragon pierced through. Lightning flashed wildly and blood splattered everywhere. Pung! Extremely unwilling, Meng Xiao's body split into two and fell into a pool of blood. Blood mist covered the land. Lin Feng is back. Really? That's impossible, right? It's absolutely true. The news from the rookie camp has been confirmed. Didn't Meng Xiao and Thousand Islands Yufeng also go to the Blood Mist Forest? Shu, don't talk nonsense. Lin Feng returned. What he caused was not a small earthquake. There was once a rumor that Lin Feng had dug up the treasures of the Blood Mist Forest and had countless blood-red pearls on him, causing a group of blood assassins to covet him. However, there were not many who truly had the heart and courage. The most famous were undoubtedly Meng Xiao and Thousand Islands Yufeng. But now Lin Feng was back. There was no news of the two of them. As long as one was not too stupid, one could guess what had happened. In the Blood Tower, the Blood Mist Forest, reputation was earned through fighting. Here, only strength was believed. Everything else was fake. Only with enough strength could one be respected. Blood Tower 30. Just as he entered the 6th floor, Lin Feng saw a familiar figure. Blood Shadow. You've become stronger. He was still wearing a black mask, and his pair of blood-red eyes were filled with valiant power. You too. Lin Feng looked straight at Blood Shadow. The eyes were the window to the soul. Blood Shadow's talent soul had improved again since the last time he saw him. After being nurtured by the Blood Tower, receiving the treatment of 9 bloodlines, and obtaining a perfect body, Blood Shadow's strength increased at a speed no slower than his. Lin Feng knew very well that the possibility of him losing was still very high. Blood Shadow said coldly, "That's because I've been here longer than you." There seemed to be a hint of self-mockery and cold sneer in his voice. Blood Shadow said, "Did you kill Meng Xiao and Thousand Islands Yufeng?" Lin Feng smiled indifferently. "What do you think?" Hee. Blood Shadow sneered. "Those who aren't familiar with you will think that you are a pushover. Only I know how crazy you are. Your person is like your saber. Those idiots want to snatch something from you. They don't know what's good for them." Lin Feng looked at Blood Shadow and felt a sense of déjà vu. "Are you very familiar with me?" Blood Shadow's eyes deepened. "I'm definitely more familiar with you than you are." "Who are you?" Lin Feng stared at Blood Shadow. "Is it important?" Blood Shadow said coldly, "In the Battle of Brilliance in 2 months, if you can defeat me, I'll tell you." Lin Feng said, "It's a deal." Blood Shadow turned and left. "Don't disappoint me." 2 months later, the Battle of Brilliance. Lin Feng naturally remembered that all the talented new stars of the 33 continents were gathered. Everyone under the age of 30 could participate. Although he didn't know why Blood Shadow valued him so much, since he had promised Blood Shadow, Lin Feng naturally wouldn't go back on his word. Furthermore, being able to compete with the top geniuses of the 33 continents was very attractive to him. Especially, the first place on the brilliance list, the 18-year-old successor of the immortal pavilion, Goddess Wakaman. It's impossible to catch up to her in 2 months. However, it's possible to increase my combat strength from 7 bloodlines to 8 bloodlines. Lin Feng naturally wouldn't bite off more than he could chew. Goddess Wakaman was stronger than the 3 9-bloodline assassins of the Blood Tower. He was quite far away from her. But Lin Feng took out the Thunder Kuei pot. The crystal purple color was of a higher quality than the previous cyan color. Now, the Thunder Kuei pot, which was already a mid-heaven level sacred treasure, was full of tribulation thunder energy. The energy was extremely pure. It could be used to improve the Thunder Dragon Holy Qi and the soul of the earth. Of course, the choice was in Lin Feng's hands. Improve the soul of the earth. Lin Feng didn't hesitate. Compared to the other geniuses in the Battle of Brilliance, his weakest point wasn't his Holy Qi, but his strength level. 1 day later. Very good. Lin Feng smiled with satisfaction. The Thunder Kuei pot, including the 33 eternal Thunder Pearls, was empty, but his soul of the earth had been replaced by the soul of the earth. The advancement was quite rapid, but it was a long way to go from the 8th to the 9th. Normally, it'll take more than half a year. Lin Feng got up and walked out of the door. He couldn't wait that long. He would ask Brother Eagle if there was any other simple way. As soon as he walked out, Lin Feng was surprised. It was rare for Brother Eagle, Gulan, and Qianren to gather together. Their faces were solemn, as if they were discussing something. Chapter 582. Golden Rock Ji Qianshou dead. Blood Tower No. 1 team annihilated. Mission failed. Lin Feng was slightly startled. He remembered that this 6-blood mission with full commission was mentioned by Brother Eagle before entering the Blood Fog Forest. It was a 5-man team mission. Previously, it was an exclusive mission of Blood Tower No. 7. The mission failed, and the 5 6-blood assassins were annihilated. Then, it was directly promoted to full commission and listed as a common mission. After that, the mission was taken over by Blood Tower No. 1, led by Golden Rock, who ranked 2nd in combat strength, and Ji Qianshou, who ranked 5th. But now they were annihilated. This mission isn't simple, Lin Feng thought. The top 10 6-blood assassins all had the combat strength of a 7-blood assassin. The top 3 had the combat strength of a normal 7-blood assassin. The 5-man team of Blood Tower No. 1 was comparable to the 7-blood combination of Meng Xiao and Qiandao Yufeng, but they still failed. Because the common mission failed for the first time, the reward has now tripled. Warhawk's eyes were burning. 30 million blood kill points? Gulan was slightly surprised. A 7-blood mission, Qianyu said. Warhawk shook his head. It's just the reward. According to the current information of Blood Tower, the difficulty of this mission is still fixed at 6-blood. Once it fails again, it will immediately be upgraded to 7-blood mission, and the reward will be increased to 7-blood. Lin Feng listened. Blood Tower had a clear mission evaluation, so they wouldn't casually upgrade the standard of a mission because of one failure. What kind of mission is this? Lin Feng was curious. Qianyu looked at him with her beautiful eyes. A rescue mission. You need to go deep into the demon territory, similar to East Peace Continent's Wiener, Warhawk explained. There are many demons living in the 33 continents. Although they are incompatible with each other, they rarely take the initiative to attack humans. However, small battles can be seen everywhere. Lin Feng nodded. He was once captured in Wiener and almost became a slave. The specific location is unknown, and the rescuer is unknown. Warhawk said, the details are confidential. Only those who receive the mission will know. But one thing is for sure, this mission is not simple. Gulan nodded. With Golden Rock's strength, he couldn't escape. Warhawk replied, The difficulty of carrying out missions in human territory and demon territory is different. Qian Yu's beautiful eyes flickered. It's because of the terrain. That's right. Warhawk nodded. Demon territory has a lot of dark energy, swamps, and secret realms. There are traps everywhere. Even the 7 blood assassins might not be able to protect themselves if they enter. Many powerful profound nether earth devils can unleash the power of ordinary celestial devil experts in the devil territory. Geographical advantage was very important. Demons who were naturally proficient in the path of darkness. In an area where dark energy was abundant, fighting in one's own territory was naturally stronger. So, Warhawk, you. Goran seemed to understand. You want to accept a mission? Qianren smiled. Warhawk laughed heartily. I know I can't hide it from you. It would be a pity if I didn't accept such an interesting and challenging quest. Lin Feng smiled. The last time Brother Eagle mentioned it to him, his eyes had already lit up. It was a pity that the mission had been accepted. For Warhawk, this mission was not only challenging, but also rewarding. Why not do it? What do you think? Warhawk looked at the crowd, his eyes shining. This was a small team mission that required 5 people to activate. Oh. Goran was hesitant. Warhawk looked over. Lin Feng smiled. I don't mind. It's not a bad thing to go out and temper yourself. He had always welcomed challenges. There was an old saying on Earth, it's better to travel 10,000 miles than to read 10,000 books. Seclusion was important, but going out to temper oneself was also a part of cultivation. Moreover, this was a rare mission with a full commission. Lin Feng was also curious. Qianren shook his head. We don't have enough people. Goran said seriously. This 6-blood mission is very strange. There aren't many 6-blood assassins willing to accept it, especially since the 4 of us are from Blood Tower 30. The others will definitely hesitate if they want to join. Lin Feng nodded. Every Blood Tower had its own faction. Basically, they were in a state of competition. The team needed to work together and trust each other. If 4 of them came from Blood Tower 30 and the 5th came from somewhere else, there would be a crack in the team. It was fine if everything went smoothly. But what if they encountered true danger? The first to die would most likely be the 5th person. Warhawk looked troubled. How about this? I'll ask a few friends and see if they're interested. I'll also go to Blood Mist Palace and ask if we can change the number of people. Wait for my news. Okay. Everyone agreed. Quickly raise your strength level? Goran and Qian Yu nodded. Yes. Lin Feng asked. Goran smiled. There are 3 methods. First, holy fruits rich in heaven and earth energy. We call them pure energy holy fruit. They are several times more expensive than ordinary holy fruit. But you have to remember, starting from the 2nd holy fruit of the same kind, the effect will begin to decline. Lin Feng nodded. He knew this method. Back then, Heavenly Demon Emperor Wu Luan had used 2 ebony sandalwood immortal plant, a heaven-class high-grade pure energy holy fruit, to exchange for a small sky-swallowing sun wolf. Second, pure energy holy crystals, also known as primitive holy crystals. Goran took out a blue holy crystal. This is a water holy crystal. It contains first-grade water holy chi. But in fact, every holy crystal's initial state is pure energy holy crystal. The holy crystals sold on the market are formed after the energy in the pure energy holy crystal is absorbed and infused with various types of holy chi. Lin Feng understood. So, this was a pure energy holy crystal. Third, all kinds of spiritual caves and treasures. It stores a lot of heaven and earth energy, and the body can absorb it automatically. Actually, Brother Lin Feng, if you want to quickly raise your strength level, the 3rd method is the closest for you. Goran smiled. Lin Feng did not understand. Qianren said, decision treatment. That's right. Gulan nodded. Every blood assassin with potential and qualifications will be nominated for the decision-making treatment. For example, Qianren has 7 blood treatment, and Blood Shadow has 9 blood treatment. From my experience, Lin Feng, you have at least 8 blood treatment. It is very possible that you have 9 blood. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. In other words, there were spiritual caves and treasures in the decision treatment to raise one's strength level. But to get the decision treatment, first you have to show the corresponding talent, qualifications, combat strength, and so on. Goran looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng, your talent and qualifications are needless to say, but your performance is not enough. The rule of the Blood Tower is that the decision evaluation is based on the task, and actual combat is the first factor. I see, Lin Feng said gratefully. After all, the Blood Tower was an assassin organization. Completing the task was very important. Actual combat strength was what the Blood Tower valued the most. Chapter 583. Lin Feng looked over. His brows furrowed. Warhawk's expression was clear. You failed? Golan asked. Qian Yu said softly, it is not easy. It is more than not easy. Warhawk shook his head helplessly. I asked a few 6 blood assassins I have a good relationship with. They all said they would think about it before giving me an answer. No wonder, Qian Yu said. Warhawk said, if it were me, I would probably give the same answer. Unfortunately, we are missing one person. Also, according to the rules, 7 blood and 6 blood assassins cannot take on a team mission at the same time. Lin Feng understood. A 6 blood assassin mission was mostly a test. If a 7 blood assassin led a 6 blood mission, the mission completion rate would undoubtedly be mixed. A 6 blood assassin mission was a test. It was an important part of the Blood Tower's elite training system. The other Blood Towers may encounter the same problem as us, Golan said. Warhawk nodded. As far as I know, Blood Tower number 3 and Blood Tower number 10 are actually interested in this mission, but they do not have enough people. Or we can take the mission together with them, but it is difficult to allocate the number of people. Everyone was silent. Even if they took the mission together, the team's combat power would be reduced. Also, it was very risky to split the 5 members into 2 groups. Let's find a newcomer, Qianren suggested. A newcomer may drag us down, Golan said hesitantly. Qianren glanced at Lin Feng. Isn't he one? Lin Feng smiled. He knew that Qianren still cared that he had rejected her. It is different. Offing is not an ordinary newcomer. Warhawk looked over. His strength is considered high among the 6 blood assassins. The 4 of us are similar in strength and have good teamwork. If we find a new 6 blood assassin, it will be like bringing a burden. 6 blood high level? Qian Yu glanced over with surprise. Golan smiled. I am afraid it is more than that. Brother Lin Feng's strength is even at the 7 blood level. Everyone had different opinions. Warhawk's judgment was based on his sparring with Lin Feng, while Goran's judgment was based on the current rumors. As for Qianren, among the 3 of them, she was the one who was the least familiar with Lin Feng. Actually, if you want to find a 5th member, maybe I can help, Lin Feng suddenly said. Warhawk and the other 2 were shocked. Lin Feng, you know the 6 blood assassins? Goran was shocked. Are you sure? Warhawk's eyes lit up. Lin Feng said softly, let me try. Other than us, does Lin Feng know other blood assassins? Goran asked curiously. I don't know. Qianren shook his head. Warhawk said thoughtfully, I heard that he has a good relationship with Qian Luo from Blood Tower 3. At that time, there was a rumor that Offing would join Blood Tower number 3. In my opinion, he should be one of the 6 blood assassins under Qian Luo. In addition, Blood Tower number 3 is also interested in this mission. Perhaps we can find a like-minded friend. Better than a newbie, Golan said valiantly. I don't care. A rose appeared in Qianren's hand. He played with it in boredom. The 3 of them waited patiently. Warhawk looked into the distance from time to time. He was looking forward to it. Not long after, he's here. Warhawk's eyes lit up. His aura isn't weak. Furthermore, he has a perfect body, Goran exclaimed. Crack! The rose in Qianren's hand suddenly snapped. Her beautiful eyes flickered as she looked into the distance. Her tender jade-like hand trembled slightly. Whoosh! As Lin Feng appeared, a girl as pure as snow appeared beside him. Her beautiful face had the coldness of an assassin. She didn't show any expression. She was like an ice beauty. In terms of appearance, she wasn't inferior to Qianren. A slender scabbard hung from her waist. Snowflakes dotted the top. It was her symbol, white jade sword. Snowflake? Warhawk and Goran were stunned. The two of them looked at each other. They never expected that the fifth member Lin Feng brought would be Snowflake. Blood Tower number 8, one of the twin peerless beauties. She was ranked 10th among the 6 blood assassins. She was as famous as Qianren. The two women were entangled and confusing. It seems like everyone knows each other. Lin Feng smiled. I don't need to introduce myself. Hello. Snowflake nodded and greeted them. Hello. Hello, Snowflake. Warhawk and Goran returned the greeting. They looked at Qianren in unison. They didn't care. They were even secretly delighted. Snowflake's strength was obvious. She was ranked 10th among the 6 blood assassins. The only problem was Qianren. You have a perfect body? Qianyu pursed her lips and said after a long time. Snowflake's eyes flashed. We are on the same level again. I'm not as good as you. Qianren shook her head. Snowflake said, Your bloodline is above mine. I might not be able to catch up to you after becoming a Nemo expert. There's no need to be humble, Qianren said. Snowflake shook her head. There's always someone better than you. There are still many martial artists stronger than me. 6 blood assassins? Qianyu frowned. Snowflake glanced at Lin Feng. He's one of them. What? Qianren was shocked. Her beautiful eyes looked at Lin Feng with complicated emotions. Warhawk was also shocked. Goran, on the other hand, was mentally prepared and was calm. Lin Feng smiled helplessly. He didn't expect Snowflake to drag him in. He interrupted. Snowflake is willing to join our team. What do you think? I agree. Warhawk didn't hesitate. Goran smiled. The peerless twin, 2 beauties. It's enough to make the other teams envious. Everyone's eyes focused on Qianren. Snowflake is very strong, Qianren said directly without any discomfort. To her, this was already an acknowledgement. Good. Warhawk was overjoyed and nodded. Let's go. We'll go and accept the mission now. Everyone agreed. The Demon Realm's public mission has been accepted again? Where is it? Blood Tower 30 accepted it. The captain is Warhawk and the vice-captain is Goran. The 6 blood assassins are ranked 24th and Goran 47th. Even Golden Pung from Blood Tower 1 failed. Aren't they courting death? It can't be. Blood Tower 8 and Snowflake are there too? And Qianren? My God, the Blood Tower's peerless twin, when did they get together? Not only that, but there is also the rookie Lin Feng who is rumored to be able to kill the 7 blood assassins. Blood Tower 30 suddenly became the focus of attention. This full quota 6 blood mission was now 3 times the commission. Everyone knew how difficult it was. Even Golden Pung and Ji Qianqiu, who were ranked 2nd and 5th in the 6 blood assassins of Blood Tower 1, had been completely defeated. Everyone was not optimistic about the peerless twin. Just wait and see. They will definitely follow in Golden Peng's footstep. You are taking it for granted. How can a full quota mission be so easy? Anything can happen in the demon realm. They are courting death. What a pity for these 2 beauties. It was a disaster. But Lin Feng and the others didn't care. After a little preparation, they left the bloody land and went straight to their destination. Cursed Demon Realm. To be continued. Chapter 584. Cursed Demon Realm. Located at the border of the Upper East Continent, it covered a large area and was close to the ancient seal of the Nirvana world. Black mist covered the place all year round, and the chi of darkness was thick. None of the humans who entered had ever come out alive, so it was called the cursed demon realm. Will we not be able to come out? Warhawk joked. Very likely. Qian Yu was expressionless. Shut your mouth, Goran scolded. Don't let your words come true. Is there a captain like you? Chueshue, Lin Feng laughed it off. Although it was their first mission, everyone had a good relationship. It was easy for Chueshue to fit in. After all, she was like her sword. She didn't like to talk much. She didn't raise any questions or objections. She was very obedient. Qianren was as calm as ever. She wasn't hostile to Chueshue, just competitive. Warhawk and Goran were the most lively. They had known each other for a long time and were like brothers. Occasionally, they would tease each other, making the team livelier. This is the cursed demon realm. Lin Feng looked around. The dark energy was abundant. In terms of cultivation, it wasn't as good as the blood mist forest. After all, Xiao Yun's terminating body preferred energy. As for his whirlpool body, it didn't matter where it was. However, if he fought here, he would be able to unleash more of his combat strength. Dark Devil Holy Chi was now at the 7th level. It's suitable for Hei Ting and the Mystery of Darkness. Lin Feng nodded. If it was here, he was confident that he could compete with the sky-swallowing Yang Wolf at his peak. My combat power is almost at the top of the 7 blood assassins. But the demons are the same. After obtaining the memories of the primordial sky demon Qi Yen, Lin Feng knew the demons like the back of his hand. Most of the demons walked the path of body refinement. They used the demon core as the core and were good at all kinds of power skills. A small number of demons cultivated holy qi like humans. More than 90% of them cultivated dark holy qi. Because the demons were born with perfect compatibility with the element of darkness. Of course, there was a special kind of demon that cultivated the demon heart. It was comparable to human holy qi cultivators, but this kind of demon was rare. This is not Demon City, so the possibility of the demon clan gathering here is not high. However, there may be a small number of clans. Warhawk put away his smile. There won't be any Skyfiend experts in the infernal domain. Their strongest combat strength will be the upper-level mysterious underworld Earth Fiend. However, with the geographical advantage, they can unleash the combat strength of a low-level Skyfiend. Lin Feng nodded. Just like humans, demons only needed to break through to become Skyfiends. They would definitely enter the Nirvana world, and even many mysterious underworld Earth devils would break through the seal. Demons were more eager to become stronger than humans. For this reason, they did not hesitate to kill their own kind to obtain demon cores and obtain stronger bloodline power. In the world of demons, if one couldn't become stronger and stayed where they were, then they would only become food for the other demons. Actually, the demons aren't the only threat, Lin Feng said. Everyone looked over. Lin Feng said, the unknown danger is very frightening. There are some swamps in the Nirvana world. Once you mistakenly enter them, you will find yourself in danger. There are also many unpredictable dangers in the infernal domain, such as the neglected plant lifeforms. Ordinary plant lifeforms absorb the heaven and earth energy and transform into various holy fruit. However, there are also many plant lifeforms that develop sentience during the process of absorbing the heaven and earth energy, allowing them to embark on the path of cultivation. Plants can cultivate as well? Snowdrift, who rarely spoke, asked. Yes, Brother Lin is referring to essence wood spirits, Goran said. The more heaven and earth energy one absorbs, the more concentrated it is, and the easier it is to produce essence wood spirits, essence flower spirits, etc. Just like the fiend's demon cores and our human souls. Lin Feng said, the demonic fog in the infernal domain is the remnant of the dark matter absorbed by the fiends when they cultivate. It is not normal dark holy qi. It is mixed with the fiend's ruthlessness, bloodlust, slaughter, and other negative energies. prolonged absorption will subtly change the cultivator. If a plant life form that grows here develops sentience, then it must be a plant fiend. It is different from ordinary fiends. Plant fiends are very territorial. Even if their strength reaches the level of what we call sky fiends or nirvana, they might not leave. Complete silence. Everyone looked at Lin Feng with a completely different gaze. Snowdrift's beautiful eyes flashed. Good knowledge. Warhawk gave a thumbs up. Brother Lin, you are amazing. How do you know so much? Goran looked at him with admiration and said, I have a lot of experience, but the infernal domain has always been mysterious and unpredictable. Even the ancient records only mention a few words about it. I only know a little. Lin Feng smiled modestly. If it wasn't for primordial Skyfiend Chi-Fan's memories, he wouldn't know so much. For Chi-Fan, who had lived in the infernal domain since childhood, this knowledge was nothing. Every fiend who could walk in the Nirvana world knew about it. But in the 33 continents, humans and fiends had never interfered with each other. They knew very little about the infernal domain. So, Golden Rock's failure might not have been caused by the mission itself, Snowdrift said softly, but hit the nail on the head. It is possible. Qianren nodded. Warhawk pondered, I don't dare to say anything else, but with the combat strength of Blood Tower 1, Golden Rock and Ji Qianqiu are all experienced and powerful six-blood assassins. Even if they encountered a Skyfiend expert, they should be able to survive. There is no reason for them to be wiped out. You've awakened the dreamer with your words. Gulan's eyes were filled with worry. Lin Feng nodded. He couldn't rule out this possibility. Why did the fiends capture so many martial artists? Lin Feng asked. Why else? They must be slaves. Warhawk's eyes showed a trace of hatred. The fiends have little interest in ordinary humans because they can't provide nutritious flesh and blood, nor can they strengthen their bloodline. To them, they are not as valuable as the fiends. Goran nodded. They are mainly used to work for the fiends, such as mining, building palaces and so on. The fiends can't do these jobs. Warhawk laughed. There are also some fiend women who are quite perverted and capture strong men. But compared to being a coolie, I would rather die under peonies. The two women laughed, their cheeks red. Lin Feng smiled. That day, he was also captured and brought to Wayna. Actually, I had already formed a bond with the Blood Tower at that time. Lin Feng recalled that day when a few blood assassins came to assassinate the young city lord. The slave market was in chaos, and he had a chance to escape. At that time, he didn't recognize the blood mark on them, but now he knew. The mark of the Blood Tower represented their blood assassin level. Time flies. It has been almost a year. Lin Feng sighed softly. Now that he had entered the Blood Tower, he turned from the rescued to the rescuer. The world was really strange. However, his intuition told him that this full mission didn't seem to be that simple. Am I overthinking things? Lin Feng was just thinking about it when his eyes suddenly brightened. Chapter 585. Enemies! Lin Feng shouted. He was like a fish in water in the demon domain. Coupled with the perfect whirlpool body's ability to sense the outside world, no one in the team could compare to him. Warhawk and the others were startled, but soon, their faces became serious. They glanced at Lin Feng, and although they were slightly surprised, they were already certain. Lin Feng's ability to sense things was stronger than theirs. A group of Earth Demons and Earth Demon Lords. Warhawk's eyes were like an eagle's, surging with battle intent. Hua Gulan smiled. Blue waves rippled on her hands, and the light of the water flowed. Qian Ren's hand bloomed like a rose with thorns, and her figure was illusory. Snowdrift's expression was still calm, but her body emitted sharp sword energy, causing Warhawk's blade to vibrate. He turned around and praised in surprise, "What a powerful sword technique!" Clang! Black Lotus appeared in Lin Feng's hand. Specks of black light condensed on the massive blade. Pieces of black crystal fragments connected with each other, forming the spine of the blade. The appearance of Hei Ting caused the aura of darkness to surge violently. In this demonic area, he was like the Emperor of Darkness, and his power was even stronger. Hiss! Warhawk and the others gasped. Apart from Snowdrift, this was the first time they had seen Lin Feng's weapon, and their eyes were wide open. Damn! It's at least a high-grade Heavenly Saint weapon. What a terrifying aura! Warhawk's eyes were filled with envy. They were both sabers, so their desire for sabers was naturally deeper. Seeing Black Lotus was more precious than a treasure. A supreme-grade Heavenly Saint weapon, Snowdrift said softly. How heroic! Golan exclaimed. Can I touch it? Warhawk's eyes were filled with infatuation. Lin Feng smiled. The black haze was quickly released, and the blade trembled. Lin Feng shot forward like an arrow. It was time to fight. In an instant, the battle was over. Dozens of Earth Demons and 8 Earth Demon Lords had all died. Facing 5 six-blooded assassins, the top power of the 33 continents, the demon race experts who were only comparable to a human fetus weak in strength, could not resist at all. They were harvested like weeds. It was not that they were too weak, but the humans were too strong. Warm up. Warhawk laughed heartily. Let's familiarize ourselves with each other. Goran smiled as he looked at Snowdrift and Lin Feng. In terms of strength, the two of them were not the strongest. But in terms of experience, it was indisputable that Warhawk and Goran were the team's captain and vice-captain. Actually, our team's equipment isn't that good. Warhawk laughed. 4.5 out of 5 of us are melee fighters. Lin Feng smiled. Normally, 3 to 4 melee players were more or less enough. There had to be at least one long-range attacker or support player. Goran was considered a semi-support player. The other 4 people, including the 2 girls Snow Chue and Thousand Rin, were all melee fighters. Not only that, they're all close combat type, Goran said happily. Close combat could also be divided into 3 categories: main offensive, main defensive, and main restraining. However, the people on his side were all focused on attacking. Because we are all bloodthirsty killers. Snowdrift hit the nail on the head. Blood assassins usually completed their missions alone. Those without outstanding offensive capabilities would have long been eliminated. Those who could survive would have long been eliminated. Most of them had extremely strong individual combat capabilities. Actually, it doesn't matter. The key is to work together, Lin Feng said. That's right. Thousand Rin nodded. But then again, we can't ignore the geographical advantage. Warhawk swung his blade, plundering the demon cores. A high-grade Earth Demon can display the strength of a low-grade Earth Demon Lord, and a low-grade Earth Demon Lord can display the strength of a mid-grade Earth Demon Lord. If we encounter a high-grade mysterious underworld Earth Demon, everyone must be careful. Everyone nodded. There was nothing to be afraid of if it was a single high-level mysterious underworld Earth Demon. Everyone had the confidence to deal with it. What they were afraid of was if it came in a swarm. Inside the demon area, the demon race usually existed in group. Brothering, what's the exchange rate for demon cores? Lin Feng asked. It's about the same as demonic beast cores. Warhawk quickly collected all the demon cores and looked at everyone. The specific profit will be calculated after we complete the mission. Lin Feng said lightly. Oh. He didn't care much about money. Demonic beast cores can be used to refine medicine pills and purify elemental energy. What can demon cores do? There was dark energy in demon cores, but extracting it was probably harder than demonic beast cores. Also, they had never heard of demon cores being used to refine medicine pills. Demon cores that absorbed dark matter energy in the universe to grow. It was completely different from humans and demonic beasts. I really don't know. Warhawk scratched his head. Ask Golan. Golan smiled. It's actually very simple. Demon cores are indeed useless to us, but they are useful to other races. Which race? Thousand Rin was curious. Golan smiled. Take a guess. Other races? Lin Feng suddenly understood. Brother Lan, you mean we'll get the magic cores and sell them to the demon race? Everyone was startled, but they instantly understood. Golan nodded. Equivalent exchange. The demon race will also sell some saint fruits, saint crystals, and other things that are useless to them to us humans. Aren't the demon race and humans mortal enemies? Blowing Snow asked suspiciously. This has nothing to do with being enemies. Both sides have things that benefit them. Even if you don't do it and I don't do it, someone else will. Lin Feng was very clear about the business model. In the business world of Earth, there were no eternal enemies, only eternal benefit. Blowing Snow nodded and looked over with her beautiful eyes. Lin Feng also smiled. To a certain extent, he and Blowing Snow also had the same logic. Gradually, they went deeper into the cursed demon domain. They had yet to encounter any real danger. To humans, this place was like a forbidden area, but to Lin Feng and the others, it was like walking on flat ground. From Earth Demon to Earth Demon Lord, and then to Xian Ming Earth Demon, the strength of the demon race in the cursed demon domain began to increase. Lin Feng and the others also gradually displayed their strength. According to Warhawk, they were done warming up. It was time to use their real strength. Pung! Pa! Another fierce battle had come to an end. Including the two dark Nether Earth devils, dozens of Devil Clan experts had been killed. Lin Feng and the others looked at each other and smiled. None of them were injured. The first day of entering the cursed demon domain was safe and sound. This was undoubtedly a good start. Everyone, let's find a place to rest. Warhawk said softly. Everyone agreed. The size of the cursed demon domain was even greater than the Blood Fog Forest. It was impossible to explore it in a short day. They couldn't rush. Only by maintaining abundant energy could they better complete the task. Chi! Lin Feng's blade slashed across, and an Earth Demon Lord directly exploded, revealing a demon core. This was not the first time he saw a demon core. He had obtained one in the Dark Demon world before. Although the two were slightly different, there was not much difference, just like the humans on Earth and the humans on Nemo planet. However, this time, Lin Feng was stunned when he touched the demon core. This? Lin Feng looked at the Earth Demon Master's demon core in his hand in astonishment, his brows tightly knitted together. Chapter 586. Sensing. Sensing from the bottom of his heart. What's going on? Lin Feng was stunned. Looking at the demon core in his hand, which contained the demon race's bloodline and powerful strength, he felt an inexplicable rush of excitement. Right now, Xiao Yun was still evolving, which meant that the demon core's sensing had nothing to do with Xiao Yun, but, that day in the Dark Demon world, why was there no reaction at all? Could it be that the Dark Demon planet's demon race was special? What's wrong, Afeng? Warhawk's voice came from afar. Lin Feng recovered and replied, Nothing. Turning his head to look at the demon core in his hand, Lin Feng's smile instantly disappeared. With a flash of light, the demon core was put into his storage ring. Take a few more, it won't be too late to study them when we rest. With this thought, Lin Feng no longer hesitated, his figure flashing as he continued to collect the demon cores. In the demon domain, the demon race's senses were also very strong. Especially the smell of blood and energy fluctuations, which would attract the demon race, so Lin Feng's group would always quickly leave after every battle. Hunting the demon race was meaningless. Even if they slaughtered the entire cursed demon domain, it would only be the tip of the iceberg. Moreover, it would waste a lot of time. Let's rest here and take turns to guard. Warhawk said, I will team up with Qianren, Golan and Snow Chui, and Lin Feng will be alone. Does anyone have any objections? Everyone looked at each other, then their eyes fell on Lin Feng. Warhawk explained, Among the five of us, Lin Feng's senses are the strongest. But his strength. Qian Yu's eyes showed worry. Since they were a small team, there was no need to worry too much. Qian Rin was also speaking frankly and had no other meaning. Gulan was also a little worried. The two of them had not seen Lin Feng's true strength. On the first day of battle, Lin Feng had only tested his saber and honed his saber skills, not even using his titanium-grade body. Ah Feng is not weak. Warhawk smiled. He had sparred with Lin Feng before, so he was clear. But at that time, Lin Feng was still before entering the blood mist forbidden land. He is stronger than me. Snowdrift's voice was clear. Compared to Warhawk, her words undoubtedly carried more weight. Six Bloods was ranked 10th, and now, he had a perfect body. His strength was close to the top 5. Cui Shue's words shocked everyone. Lin Feng was stronger than Cui Shue? She didn't say anything more, but it was enough. Qian Yu's beautiful eyes looked over. He stared at Lin Feng in astonishment and doubt. It's decided then. I'll be fine by myself. Seeing that he had become the target of public criticism, Lin Feng stepped out to express his stance and smiled helplessly. Cui Shue was too honest. Inside the tent, 6 magic cores were placed in front of Lin Feng. The largest one was the Black Underworld Earth Devil's Devil Core, followed by the Earth Devil Lords, and the other 3 were ordinary Earth Devils. I can sense all of them. Lin Feng stared at the 6 magic cores. This proved that what he had sensed earlier wasn't an isolated case. He really was facing the demonic core of the Nemo planet. The higher the quality of the magic core, the stronger the sense. What was the reason? Is it because of the uniqueness of the Nemo planet's devil race, or is it because of my own changes? Lin Feng picked up a magic core. His current self in the dark devil world was different from his current self. He had a perfect body, a fetus, and even awakened his bloodline and possessed the vortex body. Just like his bloodline trigger, his ability to sense magic cores might not be due to the difference between the devil race and the earth devil race. For example, the 7 limits of saber techniques could only be comprehended when the saber technique reached the 11th realm. But Lin Feng closed his eyes and touched the magic core. His heart condensed. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Indeed. Lin Feng opened his eyes, which were shining brightly. The culprit is this. Lin Feng held the magic core with both hands and placed it near his chest. Instantly, the 3rd meridian diagram moved violently. At his chest, at the center of the 3rd meridian diagram, the mysterious black vortex was like a ferocious beast. A powerful suction force appeared, and the majestic power was like an endless abyss. His Hua, the magic core in his hand, withered at a speed visible to the naked eye. The magic core turned into threads and seeped into his body, entering the 3rd meridian diagram. With the black vortex as the center, a strong vortex force was formed, instantly enveloping the magic core's energy. Bo, bo, bo. The 3rd meridian diagram was lit up. The magic core's energy turned into pure energy and was absorbed by the vortex black hole, nourishing the 3rd meridian diagram. With the wisdom soul in the center of the meridian diagram as the origin, the 7 martial spirits bloomed at the same time and rose rapidly. In the blink of an eye, the gears rotated, driving the 1st and 2nd meridian diagrams. The 1st meridian diagram, the spirit of earth, connected the 5 martial spirit. The 2nd meridian diagram, the talent soul, connected Tianchong and Linghui. Feedback. Lin Feng was shocked. The 3rd meridian diagram, which had always been activated by the 1st and 2nd meridian diagrams, was now like a clock spinning counterclockwise. Although the direction was different, the effect was not different. The magic core's energy turned into pure heaven and earth energy, improving the talent soul and spirit of earth. A little, an ordinary earth demon's magic core gradually shriveled and lost its luster. What replaced it was Lin Feng's aura that strengthened. Incredible! After a round of absorption, Lin Feng was in disbelief. He had never heard of a human body absorbing the energy of a monster core. However, it had indeed happened. He could actually devour the monster core like the devil race and transform it into his own energy. It was more than inconceivable. It was simply unimaginable. If I'm not wrong, that's it. Vortex body. The power of his bloodline. It could actually devour the magic core's energy. The fourth effect. Lin Feng was getting more and more curious about the vortex body. It was like the vortex black hole in his body, containing endless mysteries and wonders. Every time, it would bring him a huge surprise, and each effect was more amazing than the last. What kind of bloodline is this? Lin Feng was shocked. Even the top human bloodline on Nemo planet could not compare to 10% of it. They continued forward. After a night of rest, everyone's spirit and state were back to their peak. Everyone, be careful. Warhawk warned. The first batch of Blood Tower 7 to accept the mission was an accident on the second day. The deeper we go, the greater the danger, Golan said seriously. Everyone nodded in agreement. The closer they were to the ancient seal, the closer they were to the deepest part of the cursed demon domain. The unknown danger was the most terrifying. Everyone focused and went deep into the cursed demon domain. Compared to the first day, the laughter was undoubtedly much less. At this time, they truly felt the danger of carrying out the mission. The lesson of Blood Tower 7 was still vivid in their minds. If they were not careful, what awaited them would be death and forever stay in the cursed demon domain. Did you guys notice anything? Lin Feng suddenly stopped, his brows slightly furrowed. Everyone was slightly startled and did not understand. There's a feeling, but I can't describe it. Warhawk's eagle-like eyes flashed as he looked around cautiously. Chapter 587. It's been a while since we've met a demon powerhouse. Snow Chui said. That's true. Qian Ren's hands blossomed like flowers as he looked around. Warhawk and Goran looked at each other and nodded. Snow Chui's words hit the nail on the head. In such a large demon domain, it was strange that they hadn't met a single demon powerhouse in such a long time. After all, they were already in the middle of the cursed demon domain. The number of demon powerhouses here shouldn't be less than outside. It's not just that. Lin Feng signaled for everyone to stop. The dark energy here is weaker than other places, and there's less of it. Closing his eyes, Lin Feng could sense it even more clearly. It showed a decreasing trend. The weakness of the dark energy was undoubtedly abnormal. Under normal circumstances, the deeper one went, the more abundant the energy of heaven and earth would be, and the more powerful the demons would be, the more dark energy would be released from the demon nuclei. Everyone looked at Lin Feng. Although the team had only been formed for a day, Lin Feng's position in everyone's hearts was already very important. The less dark energy there is, the less demon powerhouses there are. Lin Feng opened his eyes and turned around, but because the dark energy will circulate, the surrounding dark energy will make up for the thinness of this place, showing a kind of regional characteristic. But if the difference in the thinness of the dark energy is great, and it's constantly flowing, then it means there's a place that's constantly absorbing a large amount of dark energy. Lin Feng pointed straight ahead. It's there. With a sound, everyone looked in the direction Lin Feng pointed. Warhawk's expression was serious. Offing, you mentioned yesterday that some strange plant life forms would appear in the demon domain, absorbing dark energy for a long time and producing wood spirits, becoming plant demons. Could it be? It's very likely. Lin Feng nodded. Unlike the demon race, plant demons absorbed dark energy. They weren't responsible for producing it, only for consuming it. Of course, it could also be Yao or humans. Lin Feng added, but with the demon race's personality, it's impossible for them to accommodate an enemy race in their own territory. If a demon was found in a human city, they would be killed without mercy. Everyone agreed. So, if we travel in the opposite direction of where the dark energy is weak, we can avoid it? Goran pondered. Why should I avoid it? Lin Feng asked with a smile. Everyone was stunned. Why did we accept the Blood Massacre mission? Lin Feng looked at everyone. To hone our skills. The challenge, the mission itself, and the key to it was the blood kill points, or to put it bluntly, Nemo coins. The essence wood spirit is very rare and valuable. An Earth rank level 7 essence wood spirit is worth more than 1 billion. An Earth rank level 9 essence wood spirit is worth at least 10 billion. And if it's a heaven ranked essence wood spirit, it's worth over 100 billion. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Many pairs of eyes lit up. To the crowd, this was absolutely attractive. Not everyone was as rich as Lin Feng. Let alone 100 billion Nemo coins, even 10 billion Nemo coins was a huge sum. Normal 6 blood missions started at 10 billion Nemo coins, and full 6 blood missions were hard to come by. This was an extremely difficult 6 blood mission. At most, it would only be 300 billion Nemo coins. But even the lowest heaven-ranked essence wood spirit was worth more than 100 billion. Warhawk's eyes lit up with ambition. As someone who advocated using battles to support battles, he would not let go of such a great opportunity. Goran was a bit hesitant. His personality was more conservative. Qianren did not speak and only looked at Chueshua. Chueshua's pure eyes flashed as she said, "I want to go." She was short of money. That day when she robbed Lin Feng, it was because she was short of money. Blood Tower Team 7. We might die here. Goran was worried. I don't care. Qianren also said. She did not care, but in reality, she did not want to lose to Chueshua. Our battle power is much stronger than Blood Tower Team 7. Warhawk did not care. As a blood assassin, there is a chance to make a fortune. There is no reason not to move forward. Missed the opportunity. I say, Goran, your courage is not even as good as those 2 girls. Goran's face turned red. I didn't say I wouldn't go, it's just… Actually, Brother Goran is just being cautious. Lin Feng smiled and smoothed things over. Goran immediately cast a grateful look and looked into the distance. Lin Feng said, although it is dangerous, I think it is worth a trip. There are no demon powerhouses around. If it is a plant demon, it is probably a heaven-ranked level 1 essence wood spirit. More than 100 billion Nemo coins. It was equivalent to a full 6 blood mission. Moreover, the essence wood spirit's battle power is relatively weak. Although it has the geographical advantage, a heaven rank level 1 is equivalent to the strength of the 7 blood assassins. Lin Feng smiled slightly. With his current strength, he could be considered invincible among the 7 blood assassins. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go. They were full of fighting spirit. As blood assassins, they were all licking blood on their blades. Naturally, they would not be afraid. In fact, the more afraid they were, the faster they would die. Watch your step. Lin Feng walked at the front, floating in the air. Behind him, Warhawk and the other 2 formed a circle with Goran in the middle. As the strongest support ability in the team, Goran was placed in the middle. He could display his strongest strength. In terms of individual combat strength, he was the weakest. In the middle, the first wave of attacks would not reach him. He could use his support ability to his heart's content and support the weaker side in the second wave of attack. It is quicksand. Warhawk was knowledgeable. It will be very troublesome if we get caught in it, Goran said. The 2 girls had the least experience. At this moment, their expressions were the most serious. They did not dare to be careless. Lin Feng glanced downwards, his eyes shining brightly. The quicksand is just a distraction. There is a strong suction force hidden below. Once you are injured and unable to resist, you will be sucked into it. If you don't have enough defense, you will be torn to pieces. If there is a plant demon here, it should be a sand type. Everyone agreed. They trusted Lin Feng. Lin Feng's group of 5 entered the tiger's den. The aura of darkness was becoming weaker and weaker. Replacing it was the aura of dryness and sand. Lin Feng had a deep understanding of the whirlpool body. He looked not far away and spoke again. Everyone, do not fight on the sand. The quicksand is just the surface. The suction force of the whirlpool below is terrifying. The deeper they went, the more astonishing the power of the whirlpool was. I finally understand why there are no demon race martial artists here. Lin Feng held Black Tigress with a serious expression. Just the quicksand and the hidden whirlpool below were enough to kill all of the mysterious underworld earth demons. Especially the whirlpool below. If not for his whirlpool body, he would not have sensed the hidden trap. A terrifying trap. It's here. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. Suddenly, a sandstorm rose. The wind and sand danced wildly. The sound of something breaking through the air resounded in the distance. It was like arrows being shot. They were so fast that only afterimages could be seen. The battle was about to begin. Chapter 588. Sky-spinning thunder. Lin Feng immediately activated his defense. The Thunder Dragon spun and formed a huge Thunder Dragon vortex in front of him, absorbing the Qi to form a defense. Qi, Qi, Qi. They were greenish-black steel needles, and as soon as he touched them, he could feel the swift and fierce momentum, just like the flying daggers that he had cast with his saint energy. The tip of the needle contained a strong force, and the black spots were like the spots of a venomous snake. Be careful, their penetrative power is very strong. Lin Feng faced the defense in front of him with ease. Before he finished his words, Xiao, Xiao, Xiao. Below and to the side, the sky was filled with a dense rain of needles. Their might was unparalleled. The greenish-black needles were unparalleled in their ferocity and speed. Warhawk and the other three had grave expressions on their faces. They were like 8 immortals crossing the sea, each displaying their divine abilities. The first to show his strength was Gulan, who was in the middle. Pooh! Pooh! Water splashed as Gulan pointed his finger. Instantly, a blue water column appeared out of thin air and spread in all directions. Water profound meaning, jade pool formation. Gulan closed her eyes and her mind flickered. She turned into a blue water column, merging with the blue pond formation. Although he had good attacking power, his biggest contribution to the team was support. Shui. Snowflakes danced in front of Cui Shui, and the temperature suddenly dropped. Streams of icy aura, accompanied by the dancing snowflakes, froze the steel needle the moment it came into contact with it. Cui Shui unsheathed her white jade sword. Wherever the sword went, it would protect her. Not a single steel needle could get close to her. Other than Lin Feng, the strongest one among the 5 was Cui Shui, who had already reached the perfect body. Qian Yu danced in the flower formation, and the petals danced. Even so, she was still inferior to Cui Shui's attack and defense. The most dangerous one was Warhawk. He was good at attacking but not defense. He was a true blood killer. He focused on killing with one hit, and defense was not his forte. Luckily, Gulan's jade pool formation helped him block a lot of the steel needles. With the help of the formation, he was fine for now. It's a cactus-type plant demon. Lin Feng's eyes were sharp. With the eruption of the sand plant's attacks, they naturally revealed themselves. The figure that was originally covered in quicksand was now in front of him. The green and black cactus plant devils were all more than 10 meters tall, and the balls on their palms were densely packed with steel needles. Like the fangs of a viper. Stab! What he had just shot out was the thorns of the cactus plant demon. Everyone took a deep breath. There were at least a dozen of them, and this was not including the other cactus demons that were still hiding in the quicksand. It was obvious how powerful it was, but after the shock, it was replaced by a look of longing. Money. A huge amount of wealth. At least Earth rank level 8, and most of them are Earth rank level 9 essence wood spirits. Lin Feng could clearly tell that each one was at least 10 billion Nemo coins. Just the dozen or so stocks in front of him were worth 100 billion Nemo coins. Judging from the density of the needles, there must be more hidden in the quicksand. We're rich. Warhawk's eyes lit up. Don't be greedy. Goran's voice came from the jade pool formation. Defend first and exhaust some of its thorns. No one dared to be negligent. Even though it was only Earth rank level 9 essence wood spirits, the cactus demon's attacks were terrifying. Long-range attacks were very dangerous, and the slightest bit of carelessness would cause them to be hit. Goran's method was correct. Defending was naturally better than attacking, and the cactus demon's thorns were limited. Airtight. The defense of a 5-man team. It was not bad. After defending for a while, everyone's strength was inevitably exhausted. However, the cactus demon seemed to have endless strength, and continued to shoot out black and green thorns. The original stalemate gradually deviated. Lin Feng stared below, and his eyes suddenly lit up. We can't keep defending, we'll be exhausted. These cactus demon can absorb nutrients and quickly replenish their energy. The thorns they shoot out will quickly be replenished and grow again. Lin Feng shouted. According to normal calculations, each cactus demon's thorns shot out more than a third of their original thorns, but this was not the case. Each cactus demon was still as sturdy as a painting. Shwa, shwa, shwa. Everyone's expression changed. Goran blamed himself. It's my mistake. Now is not the time to blame. Lin Feng interrupted. Switch to a direct attack. Remember to be careful of the sand whirlpool under your feet. The cactus demon's control of their territory is outstanding. However, they also have the greatest weakness of plant life. They can't move as they wish. Born from the roots. This was the weakness of plant life. The cactus demon relied on its roots to replenish its energy, and at the same time, it was also its greatest weakness. So, Lin Feng took the lead. In the team, he was the strongest and had the strongest defense. Hating stirred up a violent whirlwind as the thunder dragon roared. Lin Feng attacked and defended at the same time. In an instant, his body flashed with a titanium radiance as he activated the 6th layer of the titanium-grade body. Although he hadn't used his full strength, it was already enough. Boom! Lin Feng's strength instantly erupted. Ocean cleaving. The blade energy slashed across the sky. The eruption of Lin Feng's true battle strength startled Warhawk and the other 3. Their eyes widened as they felt the overflowing tyrannical aura. The battle strength of the true 7-blood assassins was much higher than theirs. Especially Qianren, her beautiful eyes looked at Lin Feng with a complicated expression. On the other hand, Cui Shui was the calmest. Her soft body followed Lin Feng as she released the profound meaning of snow. She actually attacked the cactus demon in the opposite direction of Lin Feng. Qianren, Warhawk, and Goran all landed. Most of the attacks were blocked by Lin Feng, and only a small part was blocked by Cui Shui. Their pressure was the lightest. However, this was a team. Whoever had the ability would take more responsibility. A team didn't care about who contributed more, but how to complete the mission better. Boom! Boom! Lin Feng exploded. The power that had been accumulated for a long time was released, and the power of the blade was fully displayed. Amidst the Thunder Dragon's roar, Lin Feng directly smashed 2 cactus demons. 2 Earth rank level 9 essence wood hearts were in his hands. The essence wood spirits were the essence of the plant. The attack would inevitably be accompanied by the loosening of the defense. Chi, chi, chi. The dense bluish-black spikes were all-pervasive. The 33 Eternal Thunder Pearls flickered with light as the Eternal Thunder Pearl armor forcefully blocked the attacks of the bluish-black spike. The sounds of metal clashing against metal rang out as the shock waves penetrated the armor. Lin Feng's whirlpool body forcefully withstood the attacks, but even so, the Eternal Thunder Pearl armor still had a flaw. Chi! A black thorn broke through the defense, penetrating the exposed part of the armor. In a split second, a black energy spread out in his body. It devoured the surrounding cells at a shocking speed, and the necrotic blood and flesh. The wound instantly turned black. It's poisonous! Lin Feng shouted. Chapter 589. Lin Feng shouted, but he was still one step too late. On the other side, Blowing Snow's sword energy was also pierced by a few green and black thorns. Her snow-white skin instantly turned black. It was the sign of being poisoned. With the wound as the center, the green and black energy quickly spread and destroyed the cells. Roar! Lin Feng's true dragon sacred power swallowed the dark green energy. Even the dead cells were destroyed in an instant. In terms of control over his body, Lin Feng was definitely the best. But Cui Xue was not so lucky. Her pretty face was pale, the poison had already affected her. Luckily, the Saint Qi of true Yen snow that she had cultivated had quickly condensed and stopped the poison from spreading. Let's finish this quickly. Lin Feng shouted and attacked again. Behind him, Warhawk and the others also caught up. Without any hesitation, Lin Feng had now become the true captain of the team. Everyone trusted his strength, courage, and judgment. And this trust was built with his fist. Lin Feng was very strong. Boom! Bang! Lin Feng increased his attack. The price was more green and black thorns piercing his body, but he was willing to do so. Instead of letting Qian Ren and Blowing Snow take it, he would rather take it. With the true dragon saint power, he was better at neutralizing poison than the others. The cactus demons had too many green and black thorns. It was impossible to kill them all in a short time. Ending the battle as quickly as possible was the best way. Rumble! 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 Layers of cactus demons appeared. Under the sand there was a sky full of killing intent. Green and black thorns kept shooting out. Lin Feng was guarding the first gate while Gulan's blue pool formation was at the second gate. Blowing Snow, Battle Eagle, and Qianren spread out and killed the cactus demons. With Lin Feng as the arrow, the 5 members of the team had a clear division of labor. But other than Lin Feng, everyone was injured. Blowing Snow was the most seriously injured. They killed the most, so they naturally had more injuries. But everyone's eyes were shining. Until now, they had killed more than 30 cactus demons. Half of them were Earth rank level 9. That meant the income from the Essence Wood Spirit alone was more than 300 billion Nemo coins. It was comparable to the mission itself. Whoosh! Whoosh! A sandstorm appeared, but there were still many cactus demons hiding under the sand, borrowing the power of the sand whirlpool. Plotting against everyone. If not for Lin Feng's foresight, they would have been ambushed by the cactus demons. Under the ground, the endless whirlpool was extremely terrifying. Coupled with the power of the quicksand, it would be difficult for him to exert even a tenth of his strength once he was trapped. Black haze! Lin Feng shouted. The powerful 7th layer of Dark Devil Saint Qi erupted, fusing with the surrounding dark energy as one. The might of a supreme quality heavenly saint weapon was unleashed continuously. At this moment, the net was finally pulled back, and the divine weapon descended from the heavens. Lin Feng's qi exploded, it startled the 4,800 ghost whirlwind. Lin Feng's power erupted. The surging dark devil Saint Qi erupted into endless tornadoes and whirlpools under him. Even the black haze was shaking violently as it went straight for the wave-like quicksand. In an instant, all of the quicksand was swept up, and its power was so strong that sand shot out in all directions. Its power was not that strong. However, the area it covered was quite large. The most important thing was, as the quicksand was swept up by the tornadoes and whirlpools, the endless killing intent hidden under the quicksand was revealed. It was a huge whirlpool of sand. Looking around the whirlpool of sand, one could see that there were countless cactus demons around the whirlpool. More than 20 cactus demons that had been hiding in the dark finally revealed themselves. The clouds had opened, and there was no place to hide anymore. Lin Feng did not stop for even a moment. With a roar, the Thunder Dragon Saint Qi blasted out. Mid-level profound meaning, Big Dipper Demon Thunder Array. The Thunder Dragon turned into a lightning whirlpool and shot into the sky from the center of the earth. The flash of lightning caused the Big Dipper to change. Countless Thunder Dragons gathered to form the top of the Big Dipper, forming a huge whirlpool that spun rapidly. As the thunder dragon St. Chi strengthened it, it became shockingly violent. Sizzle! 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 The light of the lightning strike gathered in the whirlpool and quickly spread out, forming a huge circle that looked like the 8 trigrams. With the top of the Big Dipper as the cone, lightning struck down. The group attack showed the full power of the Big Dipper Demon Thunder Array. Dong! 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 Every bolt of lightning strike seemed to strike a huge hole in the ground. As far as the eye could see, more than 20 cactus demons at Earth rank level 8 and level 9, which were equivalent to humans at the upper stages of Child Zhou and had the combat strength of 6 blood assassins, seemed to have been struck by lightning. They could not even retaliate. Just as Lin Feng had said, the biggest weakness of plant life was unable to move. Living targets. The cactus demons were forced to fight Lin Feng head-on, and this was what Lin Feng was good at. Lin Feng had already comprehended the mid-level thunder mystery, the Big Dipper Demon Thunder Array. However, he rarely used it in battle because it could not be used in a one-on-one fight. It was indeed very powerful, and its area of effect attack was huge. However, every bolt of lightning strike consumed the Thunder Dragon St. Chi. The consumption was huge, especially the central lightning whirlpool that had been strengthened by the whirlpool. The Big Dipper Demon Thunder Array's array core increased the originally huge consumption. There were always pros and cons, but right now the Big Dipper Demon Thunder Array was showing its power. Crack! Crack! One by one, the cactus demons were struck by lightning as if they had been struck by lightning. They were lively before, but now there was no sign of life at all. In just a moment, more than 20 cactus demons were killed. Thud! Lin Feng stood in the air, and lightning flashed all over his body. Wherever the true Dragon Saint power went, the essence wood spirits fell into his bag one by one. It was a great harvest. Oh! Holding the black skeleton, Lin Feng was shrouded in a dark aura. He looked down as if he was thinking about something. His shocking aura was bright and magnificent, and it made Qianren and the other 3 dumbfounded. They looked at Lin Feng as if they were looking at a monster. They were about to go down and kill the cactus demons, but they froze there as if they had been petrified. Were they seeing things? Previously, the 4 of them had only killed 20 cactus devils in total. They had expended a tremendous amount of effort and were all heavily injured. Now Lin Feng was slaughtering the cactus devils as if he were butchering an ox. It was as easy as blowing off dust. Those were the real power of the 6 blood assassins. Monster, Zhang Ying murmured. Is this guy even human? Gulan couldn't close her mouth for a long time. The beautiful eyes of the 2 women looked at Lin Feng with sparkling eyes. Since ancient times, women admired heroes the most. On planet Nemo, the strong were respected, and those who were strong were often favored. That was why she looked down on Lin Feng when he refused to spar with Qianren. But now, Qianren looked at Lin Feng with no calmness like before. Instead, it was like a blooming flower. He's so powerful, Qianren couldn't help but say. That's why I agreed to accompany him. Cui Shue's eyes flashed. Sparring with Lin Feng was also very beneficial for her. What? Everyone, including Zhang Ying, widened their eyes. Chapter 590. You guys! Warhawk was stunned. Cui Shui stared at Lin Feng. Her beautiful eyes looked at Lin Feng and revealed a rare smile. He is a good person. Good person? Warhawk and Goran looked at each other and then at Cui Shui. They nodded as if they were thinking about something. Everyone knew that Cui Shui was a cold person. She didn't care about anyone. Therefore, when Lin Feng called Cui Shui over, Warhawk was very surprised. But now, from Cui Shui's expression and words, they already knew the answer. Could it be that kind of relationship between the 2? You have good eyes. Qianren looked at Cui Shui and said softly. But Cui Shui didn't hear him. Her eyes were focused below, just like Lin Feng. Lin Feng didn't relax after killing all the cactus demons at the last moment. Instead, he stared at the whirlpools below. Bang! 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 The sand whirlpool didn't stop. The black haze brought along the 800 swan demon whirlpools. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. Something was wrong. Shua! Lin Feng's figure flashed and landed in front of Cui Shui and the others. Everyone back off. Lin Feng raised his black stallion and black haze appeared. Cui Shui and the others all followed Lin Feng's order and backed off immediately. Just as they backed off, the entire sand whirlpool started to shake violently. Countless sand whirlpools started to spin faster and faster towards the center of the whirlpool. The center of the whirlpool suddenly collapsed. As expected, Lin Feng felt that something was wrong. These whirlpools weren't formed by the natural environment, including the sand. Moreover, there were layers of camouflage and traps everywhere. It didn't look like something the cactus demons could do. There were probably even stronger plant demons hiding inside. Bang! The ground collapsed as heavy as 1,000 pounds. Endless sand whirlpools gathered around. A storm of sand gathered in the center, blocking the line of sight of Warhawk and the others, but Lin Feng was already prepared. As the thunder dragon roared, the tip of the blade condensed a whirlpool of thunder, turning into countless lightning bolts. With the lightning whirlpool above his head, the strong power of the whirlpool was amplified by the whirlpool body, and its attack and support were not ordinary. Intermediate profound meaning, scarlet firmament cloud thunder. Cutting through the sandstorm, Lin Feng finally saw the huge monster buried under the sand. Boom! Like a giant standing up, its greenish-black trunk alone had a diameter of 7 meters, and its huge body was at least 50 meters long. It was as if there were many branches like an ancient totem. The tall pillars suddenly rumbled and branched upwards like the horns of a bull. Giant pillar. Heaven ranked level 1? What a powerful aura! Warhawk's group of 4 paled. The giant pillar that was 50 meters tall appeared. It was the true king that was hiding under the quicksand. At this moment, they finally understood why the surrounding devil race experts didn't dare to approach. The cursed demon realm had been strengthened by the aura of darkness, and many high-rank mysterious Nether Earth devils were actually as strong as Nemo Elite. However, this giant pillared devil race was too terrifying. You're finally out. Lin Feng wasn't afraid. Instead, he smiled. To him, those cactus demons were just a warm-up. Just a few poisonous greenish-black thorns weren't a threat at all. The huge monster in front of him felt like a real battle and a challenge. Heaven-ranked level 1 plant devil race. Its strength wasn't just in its strength, but also in its spiritual sense. It already had a considerable amount of intelligence, but once it lost its barrier and secret, it would only be a heaven-ranked level 1 with 7 blood. Bang! Bang! The giant pillar devil race attacked first, and the quicksand trap disappeared. Instead, it was replaced by waves of sand that condensed into one. The sand castles piled up from all directions, as if they were giant towers that were built from the ground, encircling them from below. Lin Feng smiled. He inexplicably thought of a saying from Earth. Lu Ban had a big axe in front of his door. On the various forms of the whirlpool, the use of profound meaning could be said to be the pinnacle. Even the profound meaning of light, whirlpool change, was a high-level profound meaning that even Nemo elites found difficult to comprehend. He only needed 1 day to comprehend its essence. Intermediate profound meaning could be grasped in less than an hour. Ordinary, elementary profound meaning, instant comprehension. Whoosh! Facing the giant pillar devil tribe's counter-vortex attack, Lin Feng did the opposite and directly dove into the vortex, causing Warhawk and the other 3 to pale in shock. But in the midst of the whirlpool of sand, Lin Feng moved as fast as flying. See. Dark Demon Saint energy and Thunder Dragon Saint energy mixed together. Bang! An astonishing flame aura circulated around the supreme-grade Heavenly Saint weapon, Black Centipede, triggering the surrounding dark aura. The scattered crystal fragments that were like curved spines suddenly arched, and the bowstring was pulled taut. Several crystal fragments condensed into one, releasing a dazzling dark light. Crack, crack. Black Centipede was like a black dragon that had awakened, and a surge of energy instantly condensed. Lin Feng circled around and went straight for the giant pillar devil race, his movements clean and neat. The difference in size was more than 10 times. In front of the giant pillar devil race, Lin Feng was too small. But at this moment Lin Feng's aura completely suppressed the giant pillar devil race. The second power of the supreme grade Heavenly Saint weapon Black Centipede was revealed. The dragon's spine caused Black Centipede's aura to skyrocket, and the already incomparably huge blade instantly expanded, surging with dark energy. Rumble! The ground shook violently. The violent sand that came from the surrounding vortex was directly crushed by this force. Hui Dragon! Lin Feng shouted, and Black Centipede stood tall. It didn't contain any profound meaning, because the Hui Dragon itself didn't have any offensive power. Instead, the power of the blade was like a spring, drawn to the extreme like a bowstring. The Thunder Dragon behind Lin Feng seemed to overlap with the Hui Dragon. The rain of needles in front of Lin Feng couldn't stop the surging energy that was about to explode. At this moment, the energy was condensed to the extreme. 7 limits, Sea Breaker. Lin Feng's veins bulged as he instantly erupted. The incomparably powerful saber energy, mixed with 2 huge dragons spiraling downwards, shocked the heavens. Rumble! The black mist gradually dispersed. The wind and sand slowly cleared. Warhawk and the other 3 looked down in shock. Lin Feng's mighty blade still remained in their minds. It was a truly shocking blade. In terms of blade technique, Lin Feng wasn't as good as Cui Shui or even Warhawk. But the blade technique itself, together with the terrifying power that surpassed the 7 blood assassins, made the power of this blade reach the extreme. The power was too terrifying. It was completely crushed. The giant pillar devil race that was more than 50 meters tall couldn't resist at all. Facing the absolute power of Mount Tai, it couldn't even dodge. There was only one result if it took the attack head-on, and that was death. Is he really Lin Feng? Warhawk was stunned. It's the real deal. Qian Ren's beautiful eyes flashed with splendor. Now I finally know how stupid Meng Xiao and Qian Dao Yufeng were. Gulan sighed and shook her head. I kind of like him. Cui Shui was quite honest. Chapter 591. Top quality Heaven Saint weapon, 2 types of power. Both were support, but their functions were different, but they had one thing in common. Increase battle power. Lin Feng had yet to go all out. Titanium grade level 6 was a piece of cake for him. Even so, his battle power was comparable to the top of the 7 blood assassins. A single strike was enough to kill a giant pillar devil tribe member. Taking out the heaven rank level 1 essence wood spirit, Lin Feng waved it at everyone. Shwa, 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 shwa. 4 figures suddenly appeared in the surroundings. Heaven rank level 1 essence wood spirit. Goran's breathing was a bit rapid. How much is this thing worth? Warhawk's eyes shone. Qianren and Snow Blowing also looked over. Lin Feng shook his head. I'm not sure, it's not a lot. Normally, it's about 100 billion Nemo coins. Looking down, Lin Feng said regretfully, if there were a few more heaven-rank giant pillar demon, we would have made a lot of money. 100 billion Nemo coins. Everyone's heart beat wildly. For the 6 blood assassins, this was definitely a huge sum, equivalent to 2 full missions. Most importantly, adding the more than 0 cactus demons that Lin Feng had killed, they had a total of 60 essence wood spirits, valued at more than 800 billion Nemo coins. We're rich. Warhawk couldn't help but grin. The total is more than 100 billion Nemo coins, the 5 of us. Goran was about to say something, but suddenly stopped, frowning. They weren't stupid and knew what Goran wanted to say. Usually, when a team carried out a mission, the benefits would be divided equally, but this time was different. Lin Feng had contributed too much. Not to mention the giant pillar demon he had killed, just the cactus demons. He had killed nearly 40 of them alone. Lin Feng should take 50%. Snow Blowing said honestly again. That's right. Qian Ren nodded. That's right. Warhawk and Goran looked at each other and also expressed their opinion. Lin Feng did not refuse. There was no need to pretend. The stronger one was, the more he could get. This was the principle of the Blood Tower. If Brother Ing and the others wanted to take more, he wouldn't have any objections. After all, money wasn't a big problem for him. Actually, 50% isn't a small amount, Warhawk said happily. 500 billion Nemo dollars. It's almost twice the reward of this super mission. Goran praised. After this mission is completed, I won't need to go out on missions for a year. Heaven-ranked sacred treasure. Qian Yu's beautiful eyes were filled with desire. Everyone was jubilant, but Lin Feng's eyes were fixed, still looking down. At this time, with the death of the giant pillar devil race, the sand whirlpools below had disappeared, turning into yellow sand that covered the area. Calm was restored. It was obvious that the giant pillar devil tribe was responsible for creating the quicksand. The sand swirled, forming a unique desert in the infernal domain. What's wrong? Blowing Snow came to Lin Feng's side. The luster on her charming face dimmed slightly. Even though the poison had been expelled, her face was still pale. Although the poison had been removed, she was still injured. I'm thinking, how many powerhouses are buried here? Lin Feng said indifferently. Many. Goran also came to Lin Feng's side and looked down. The plant devil race's vitality is very strong, but their cultivation is very slow. To cultivate to heaven rank level 1, in addition to talent and luck, they need at least a few decades to take shape. Warhawk smiled. This place is called the Cursed Infernal Domain. I think this desert is one of the reasons. A few decades. Lin Feng nodded. He turned his head. Looking at everyone, Lin Feng suddenly smiled. Then this place should be a huge treasure trove. Ah! What? Everyone didn't react. Blowing Snow understood. You mean those human powerhouses died here, and their weapons, armor, sacred treasures, and storage rings are here? See. There was a gasp. Why didn't I think of that? Warhawk glared. Good boy. Goran shook his head, his body trembling. He was pleasantly surprised. We're really rich. Qian Ren revealed a flowery smile. Everyone was not stupid. They understood at once. Deserts were different from land. Deserts were made of sand, and their essence was no different from lakes. Therefore, the weapons on the dead human powerhouses, armor, sacred treasures, storage rings, etc., would be left in the desert. They could not be devoured, let alone used, because plant life did not need such things. As for others getting ahead of them, it was even more impossible, unless all these plant devils were killed. And with the giant pillar devil race's bloodthirsty nature, they would definitely kill the wrong people and not let them go. It's not just human powerhouses. Lin Feng looked down. The ones who died here the most are demon powerhouses. Demon core. Plant life could not devour and absorb it. This was the infernal domain. The number of demons who died in this desert for decades was countless. Ha ha. Everyone laughed heartily. The waves wash away the sand. There's no need to divide the work here. Whoever gets it will get it. It all depends on luck. Lin Feng said with a smile. After it's over, take out the things you don't need and exchange them. What do you think? Good idea. Warhawk's eyes lit up. It all depends on luck. Goran smiled. In this kind of secret search, no one knew what the others took. If they relied on honesty, they would only be suspicious of each other in the end. There was no need to do so. I have no problem. Qian Ren nodded. Lin Feng looked at Snowdrift, who nodded as well. Lin Feng smiled. Then let's begin. It was truly a great wave washing away the sand. Of course, there were high and low efficiency. For example, Lin Feng was especially sensitive to the aura of darkness, so the possibility of finding a demon core was much higher. However, those weapons, armor, storage rings, and so on really depended on luck. After all, they were all inanimate objects. Everyone entered the small desert. For perfect humans, their bodies formed a stable cycle. They could survive in places with heaven and earth energy, so they did not need oxygen. Lin Feng went straight to the bottom of the small desert. He knew very well that although the giant pillar demons were constantly overturning the sea, causing the treasures in the desert to churn and change their positions, most of the treasures should be at the bottom of the desert. Qianren and Snowdrift were both very smart. As soon as they entered the desert, they sank straight down. On the other hand, Goran and Warhawk did not understand at first and wasted some time. The first to reach the bottom of the desert was Lin Feng, followed by Snowdrift and Qianren. From this, it could be seen that the three of them were only a few seconds apart. This was originally not a desert. As the giant pillar demons grew, this place gradually changed. Therefore, the size of this small desert was limited. Finding treasures would not be difficult. As expected, as soon as they reached the bottom, Lin Feng smiled. He had found something. Chapter 592. It was a sword. The slender sword emitted a red light. Even after countless years of tempering, it still had a unique luster. Top of the earth rank. Lin Feng roughly estimated. The aura of darkness spread out, and Lin Feng sensed his surroundings. No matter which direction he went, there was no difference. But at least according to the direction of the aura of darkness, he could find demon cores. Lin Feng moved quickly at the bottom of the desert, and demon cores fell into his pocket one by one. Most were demon cores of the Earth Demon level, followed by the Earth Demon Lord. The demon cores of the Xianming Earth Demon were the rarest. Oh! Lin Feng's eyes were sharp, and his right hand reached out and grabbed a storage ring in the sea of sand. It was the smallest and most inconspicuous. It was actually very difficult to find a storage ring in the sea of sand. The first one. Lin Feng didn't see what was hidden in it and directly put it into his pocket. In fact, to him, the storage ring, weapons, and armor were all valuable. After all, the ones who died here were at most Zizhou experts, and their wealth was limited. A top of the earth rank, or even perfect holy treasure, was probably a huge amount. In terms of wealth, the blood killers were richer. But it was better than nothing. I also need some spare money. Lin Feng knew that he couldn't sell the blood-red pearl every time he needed Nemo coins. It would be a waste of natural resources. Although he didn't need much equipment, Little Yun needed demon cores for cultivation, and he seemed to need demon cores now. These weren't rare things, but he needed money. Enough Nemo coins. 1 trillion was probably far from enough. In the Blood Fog Forest, he didn't take the storage rings of Meng Xiao and Qiandao Yufeng because they were hot. But there was no need to worry about taking all the treasures here, including his companion's armor. Blood Tower 7. Lin Feng found a dark brown armor. An Earth-rank perfect holy treasure. The blood mark above was the 6 blood killers of Blood Tower 7. Just as everyone had guessed, the 5-6 blood killers of Blood Tower 7 had died here. He put it in his pocket. Lin Feng focused and continued to search. The storage rings of the 6 blood killers were worth looking forward to. Generally speaking, it was normal for a 6-blood assassin to have hundreds of billions of Nemo coins other than their weapons and armors. There were 5 6-blood assassins in the number 7 Blood Tower squad that had died in this desert. Just the combined wealth of the 5 of them. Over 1 trillion Nemo dollars. Ha ha! Awesome, I found a heaven-rank holy treasure. Warhawk's laughter was extremely loud and clear. He didn't care if the others could hear him or not. He was in a state of excitement. In fact, everyone in the team was excited. Even Shueishue was in high spirit. She was short on money, so this was the perfect opportunity to earn some money. Her luck was pretty good. She had already found a Heaven Saint weapon. Pa! Grabbing a storage ring that was hidden in the sand, Snowstorm's eyes lit up. The storage ring of Blood Tower 7. That was more than 100 billion Nemo dollars. Everyone had their own gains. After searching for 3 hours at the bottom of the desert, they began to search upwards. It could be said that the bottom of the desert occupied less than 1/10,000th of the area, but it contained more than 1/3 of the wealth. Different from the lake, the space between the sand was very small. The giant pillar demon's movement caused the entire desert to shake. Many treasures that were originally at the bottom of the desert would change their positions and become stuck in a certain place. The pyramid. Lin Feng was very clear. The higher the treasure was, the smaller the possibility of it being there. Starting from the bottom, searching every 10 meters was the most efficient. To be honest, Lin Feng didn't gain much. Even Warhawk, who reached the bottom of the desert, obtained a heaven-rank treasure. Lin Feng, who arrived first, didn't get anything. As said before, it was all up to luck. There was nothing to be disappointed about. Lin Feng obtained the most demon cores among everyone, more than 10,000 of them. The other 4 only had a little more than 1,000. The difference was 10 times. Lin Feng also obtained the most storage rings, a total of 107, 15 more than Chueshue, who was in second place. Pa! Another storage ring fell into Lin Feng's hand. Lin Feng didn't even look at it before taking it. The 108. Just as he was about to leave, Lin Feng's heart suddenly moved, as if there was an invisible call. He raised his head and stretched out his hand. A thin golden feather appeared in his hand. The material was quite special, but he couldn't feel any energy aura. It was very strange. Lin Feng thought for a moment, but didn't hesitate for too long. He put away the golden feather and continued to search. When the treasure hunt was over, there would be time to slowly study it. The efficiency slowly began to decrease. Everyone didn't care and happily searched. This kind of treasure hunt was very comfortable. It was like entering a treasure mountain. There was no danger, and they could also get surprises from time to time. Naturally, they enjoyed it. The first day passed quickly. It could be said that more than 80% of the treasures were in their pockets. There was no rest. Everyone was excited. After all, it was all up to luck. No one wanted to fall behind, including Lin Feng. There was no need to be polite at this time. One by one, the demon cores were collected. During this period, Lin Feng obtained 5 thin golden feathers. They were exactly the same, but he still didn't know what they were. A full 3 days and 3 nights. Only then did the 5 of them stop. Pairs of red eyes looked at each other. They breathed in the fresh air and laughed. They had made a lot of money. I can retire now, Warhawk said happily. I've never seen a mission so easy and comfortable. Goran said happily. Qianren smiled sweetly. She was in a very good mood. Snowdrift looked at Lin Feng and winked, as if saying, I can finally repay what I owe you. The atmosphere was very harmonious. Lin Feng suggested, everyone, check your harvest. If there's anything you need, just say it. If others have it, sell or barter. We'll help each other. Looking at everyone, Lin Feng said, I'll say it first. If you have demon cores, sell them all to me at the normal exchange price. Everyone was stunned. Offing, what do you want demon cores for? Warhawk didn't understand. They're useful. Lin Feng nodded affirmatively. He didn't explain. Everyone nodded and didn't ask. After all, everyone had their own secret. Warhawk smiled. No problem. I have a lot of demon cores. Me too. Goran smiled. If you have water saint treasures, armors, or saint fruits, I'll take them. Heaven treasures. Qianren was straightforward. Snowdrift's hands flashed with 2 rays of light. I have 2 heaven treasures. I want to barter. I also have 2. Qianren took out 2 heaven treasures. 1. Goran smiled bitterly and took out a set of armor. Warhawk laughed. Seems like my luck is the best. 3. A bright light flashed in his hand, and 3 treasures of different shapes and colors appeared. They were a sword, a pair of bracers, and a peculiar golden ball with many faces. What? Lin Feng's eyes shone. Chapter 593. A golden polyhedral ball. Lin Feng's heart skipped a beat and he took it directly. Chueshua also picked up the sword of the 3 heaven-grade treasures, and her beautiful eyes flickered. Qianren picked up the arm guard and carefully observed it. Damn, you guys are really fast. Warhawk muttered as he took the heaven-grade treasure in front of Chueshua, and also looked at it curiously. Seeing that Lin Feng didn't move, Goran couldn't help but be surprised. Brother Lin, you didn't find any heaven-grade treasures? Everyone's eyes immediately turned to him. There were a total of 8 heaven-grade treasures, 2 for each person. Was Lin Feng so unlucky? Lin Feng looked away from the golden polyhedral ball and shook his head with a smile. No, I also found one. Goran smiled. It seems that you are the same as me, not very lucky. Warhawk smiled proudly, but he was the luckiest among them, and he alone obtained 3 treasures. What is it? Chueshua asked curiously. A holy treasure of light. Lin Feng didn't hide it and directly took it out. In an instant, rich light energy bloomed, and the powerful aura could not be hidden. Everyone's eyes widened, especially Warhawk, who was stunned. Mid-grade heaven-grade holy treasure? Lin Feng nodded. Light element mid-grade heaven-grade holy treasure, because I have a use for it, so I didn't take it out. This holy treasure was obtained on the 3rd day, and it could be considered a blessing in disguise. You also cultivated the light element? Warhawk was stunned. It's not just lightning and darkness? Golan was shocked as well. Lin Feng smiled. 1st grade Yaoguang Holy Qi, fetus 6th trimester. 1st grade Holy Qi, fetus 6th trimester? Everyone looked at Lin Feng as if they were looking at a monster. Warhawk murmured, I cultivated to fetus 8th trimester, fetus 6th trimester. Suddenly, as if thinking of something, Warhawk looked at Lin Feng in a daze. I have never seen you use the light element. Could it be that among the 3 elements, your weakest is the light element? Lin Feng muttered. But he still nodded. For now it was indeed so. There was a gasp. Goran shook his head helplessly. The difference between a genius and an ordinary person. Warhawk also sighed. Now I finally understand what it means to compare yourself to others is to anger yourself to death. Snowdrift looked over. What about Zizhou's fusion? Lin Feng replied, I haven't considered it yet. Goran said, it should be the fusion of light and thunder, or the fusion of darkness and thunder. It can't be the fusion of light and darkness. If 2 completely opposite holy qi fuse together, the soul of the earth would probably explode. Lin Feng smiled. It hadn't even been a week yet, so he hadn't thought about the fusion of holy qi. However, the 2 paths mentioned by Goran were traceable, and their predecessors had successfully walked them. The fusion of light and thunder formed the Titan Road, while the fusion of darkness and thunder formed the Netherworld Road. Both were the fusion of the energy of heaven and earth, and were quite powerful. It's still too early. Lin Feng didn't linger on this issue. He picked up the golden polyhedral ball and continued to observe it. Everyone nodded lightly, but the way they looked at Lin Feng had changed a lot. Lin Feng's talent was too terrifying. I thought I was the luckiest with 3 heaven-level treasures. Warhawk smiled bitterly. I don't think all of them together are as good as one of yours, Offeng. By the way, Offeng, why are you looking at this thing? It should be a low-grade heaven-level holy treasure of a holy power cultivator. I think only Blood Shadow can use it. I can use it too. Lin Feng smiled. Everyone was stunned. Warhawk stared straight at Lin Feng. Don't tell me you're also a holy power cultivator? I've cultivated a little, Lin Feng said. I'm not as good as Blood Shadow. A little? This word. It made everyone sweat. About how strong is it? Warhawk was very gossipy. Lin Feng said softly, I don't know. In terms of combat power, it's probably at the level of 6 blood. Everyone was shocked. That was a little? Warhawk rolled his eyes, but the more he asked, the greater the blow he received. By the way, Brother Ing, can you sell this to me? Lin Feng looked at Warhawk. You want it? Warhawk was surprised. Lin Feng nodded. He was short of a holy power heaven-level treasure. Warhawk's face was slightly solemn. A holy power heaven-level treasure is considered expensive in the same level. It's the same as a weapon. Although this is a low-grade treasure, it should be valued between 50 billion and 500 billion Nemo dollars. How about this? I'll charge you 100 billion Nemo dollars. What do you think? A deal with one's own people could save a lot of money. For example, if Warhawk had no use for this golden polyhedral ball, if he sold it to Blood Tower, even if the original price was 500 billion Nemo dollars, he could only get half of it, which was 50 billion Nemo dollars. If Lin Feng wanted to buy it from Blood Tower, it would cost him 500 billion Nemo dollars. That was the difference. But 100 billion Nemo dollars. It was a friendly price. Lin Feng's heart warmed. You don't have to accommodate me, Brother Ing. Let's just trade as usual. After a slight pause, Lin Feng said, How about this? Let Goran, Snowblowing, and Qianren appraise it, take the average price, and then I'll buy it at 70%. What do you think? Everyone nodded. That's a good idea, Goran said. Whatever you want later, we'll do it this way. Neither side will lose. Okay. Warhawk smiled. Goran, 400 billion. Qianren, 40 billion. Snowblowing, 350 billion. The average price is 390 billion Nemo dollars, so 70% is 73 billion. Goran looked at the two. What do you think? I have no problem with that. Warhawk nodded. Actually, I think Lin Feng contributed the most in this battle, and it was Lin Feng who thought of the treasure hunt in the desert. In fact, it should be, okay, Brother Ing, as I said, it's up to luck. Besides, even if I didn't suggest it, you would have thought of it sooner or later. I've already taken the majority of the essence wood spirit before, so let's go with the original plan. Lin Feng interrupted and took the golden polyhedral ball with a smile. 73 billion. I'll give it to you when we get back, Brother Ing. Warhawk nodded. Okay. The first transaction was successfully completed. With the plan in mind, the second transaction was quickly completed. Qianren used his two holy treasures to exchange for Goran's armor and Warhawk's bracers. Snowblowing's gaze stopped at Warhawk's sword. She hesitated for a long time, but didn't say anything. Buy it, Lin Feng said to Snowblowing. Don't worry about what you owe me. Strength is more important. How could he not know what Snowblowing was hesitating about? She was just worried that she didn't have enough money to pay back the blood-red pearl. Okay. Snowblowing nodded with a smile. Since Lin Feng said so, she didn't hesitate. Soon, the transaction of the heaven-grade treasures came to an end. Apart from Lin Feng, the heavenly ranked treasures of the rest of the people had basically changed owners. Bartering was a pretty good opportunity to obtain what they needed. Lin Feng also bought demon cores. Adding the 30,000 he already had, he had more than 40,000 demon cores. Strange, the number of demon cores seems to be a bit low. Warhawk muttered. Yeah, we only have about 4,000 in total. Are the demons that few? Goran was also curious. Lin Feng smiled and didn't say anything. Some things were better kept in the heart. Taking out the thin golden feather, Lin Feng asked, Oh right, did you find this? Chapter 594. Golden Feathers. The moment Lin Feng took them out, everyone gasped. Whoosh, whoosh. Everyone took them out. It was obvious that Lin Feng was not the only one who had them. Qianren had 8, Warhawk had 5, and Lin Feng himself had 8. The exact same golden feathers appeared. It was very beautiful. 33. Lin Feng quickly counted. The material is not bad. Goran carefully examined the feathers. It might be a type of hidden weapon. Warhawk picked up a handful of golden feathers. It's similar to the hidden weapon used by Saint Force cultivators. It's quite powerful. Hidden weapon? Lin Feng picked up the golden feathers. He had not observed them carefully, but Warhawk's description made sense. The golden feathers were extremely thin, but they were quite sharp. It was indeed an extraordinary treasure for controlling objects. Ever since he had Feilun Huan, he had almost forgotten about this kind of attack. Pa, pa, pa. Lin Feng's eyes flashed. 10 golden feathers floated in the air. Snow blowing and the others were stunned. Instantly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Every golden feather had an illusory golden dragon coiling around it. Golden light flashed as the sharp blades pierced through the air. In the blink of an eye, the already damaged main body of the giant pillar demon was blasted away. The sound of blades cutting through flesh was ear-piercing. The golden feathers cut through the giant pillar demon from different angles. It was as clean as a butcher dismembering an ox. The surroundings were silent. Not bad. Lin Feng took back the golden feathers. In addition to the sharpness of the material, it also contains the profound meaning of gold. It's a top-grade item for controlling objects. Lin Feng was very satisfied. With these 33 thin golden feathers, there was no doubt that he had one more way to attack. Although it was driven by Zi Zhou's true dragon saint power, it could even cut through the trunk of a giant pillar demon race, which was a testament to the power of the golden feathers. He really is a saint force cultivator. Goran murmured. 7 bloodlines. Qian Yu's beautiful eyes flashed. If he suddenly attacks from close range, it will be hard to catch him. Snowblowing nodded. Her defense was the same as Battle Eagle's. It was the weakest. Warhawk snorted. I knew this kid was a scallion, he just had to pretend. Muttering, he picked up the golden feather and gestured. You call this a little bit of cultivation? Combat power of 6 blood? He's too deceptive. Lin Feng smiled. It's the special material of this golden feather. Lin Feng looked at the crowd. If you have no use for them, sell them to me. Each golden feather will be sold at the base price of an Earth-rank perfect holy treasure. What do you think? 1 billion Nemo coins for one. Goran frowned. That's a bit much. 500 million Nemo coins for one. Warhawk waved his hand and joked. What use do we have for them? Do you want to use it as a hairpin? Qian Rin and Snowblowing both smiled. 1 billion Nemo dollars for one. Even though it has only one use, it is still a perfect Earth treasure. Lin Feng's heart warmed. Everyone in the team had a good relationship. For example, when Qian Rin traded for 2 heaven-rank holy treasures, everyone let her have her way. Warhawk and Goran both had the freedom and magnanimity of men. But he had no reason to take advantage of them. In fact, there were a lot of scattered treasures. Most of them were sword sheaths, saber sheaths, and other items. Some armor pieces were missing arms or legs, and they had all been found. 3 days and 3 nights of searching. Basically, every part of the small desert had been searched more than 3 times, and 99% of the treasures had been found. I'm going to take on missions to the demon realm in the future, Warhawk said seriously. The plant demons are a natural treasure trove. Goran sighed. Lin Feng said, actually, we were lucky this time. We happened to meet this giant pillar demon. Ordinary plant life can't change the soil structure, and it's actually quite difficult to find a heaven-rank plant life in the 33 continents. Plant life forms were inherently difficult to cultivate, and the essence wood spirit was precious. If it weren't for the environment of the demon realm, it would have been uprooted by humans. In terms of ability, humans were better than demons. Even if we found it, we might not be able to kill it. Chui Shue's words directly stabbed Warhawk. The latter could only smile bitterly. After getting along, he knew that Chui Shue was straightforward. This was indeed the case. If it weren't for Lin Feng, they would have followed in the footsteps of Blood Tower 7. The 5 of us together have nearly 100 storage rings. Goran sighed. Too many humans have died here. No wonder it's called the Cursed Demon Realm. But it's strange. There's no reason for only 4,000 demon cores. Are demons that smart? Warhawk wondered. In the demon realm, How could more than 100 humans die, and only 4,000 demons die? The ratio was too exaggerated. Pairs of eyes looked at Lin Feng in confusion. They were all experienced 6 blood assassins. Lin Feng smiled. Knowing that he couldn't hide it, there was no point in hiding it. Okay, I admit that I have a little more demon cores than you. Warhawk squinted his eyes. What do you mean by a little bit? Qianren teased. A few thousand? Tens of thousands? Goran thought for a moment. I guess it should be about 10,000. 36,000 or so. I didn't count in detail. Lin Feng said frankly. Including yours, it's just over 40,000. The number of demon elites that died here is indeed not small. I knew it. That's not nice. 36,000 damn. Everyone smiled bitterly. But they had been hit so many times that they were numb. They rested in place and weren't in a hurry. The treasures on the surface had just been exchanged. The items in the storage rings still needed to be checked. In addition, the Heaven-class treasures had just changed owners. Qianren and Chui Shui needed to be compatible with them. Even the Earth-class treasures could be used. The mission still needed to continue. Although the harvest was plentiful, as 6 blood assassins, there was no reason to give up halfway through the mission. Blood Tower 7 has been confirmed to have died in this desert. Lin Feng looked through the storage rings. Most of them were ordinary items. There was nothing special. He found the storage rings of the 5-6 blood assassins, one for each person. But Blood Tower 1's team didn't die here. So, the real danger lies further ahead. Maybe it's the same danger as here, or the mission is dangerous. Lin Feng wasn't careless. Blood Tower 1's Golden Pung ranked second among the 6 blood assassins. He was as strong as a 7 blood assassin, but he couldn't even escape. Although he was strong now, he was only slightly stronger than Golden Pung. He was at the top of 7 blood and at the bottom of 8 blood. The danger still existed. Casually looking through the storage rings, Lin Feng's thoughts ran wild. Suddenly, he snorted. Lin Feng suddenly became dazed. Whoosh! A simple book appeared in his hand. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. Chapter 595. Secrets of Imperial Void, 2nd Volume. Lin Feng's heart skipped a beat. 6 simple words, but there was an amazing power hidden in them. The faint handwriting left a deep impression. The more he looked at it, the more his heart palpitated. It seemed to have a faint connection with him. Lin Feng pursed his lips and opened it. The handwriting was calm, but it was profound. Lin Feng stared at it closely. Every word seemed to be carved with his heart. Pictures, accompanied by simple sentences, contained profound secrets. Lin Feng read every word clearly and was deeply immersed in it. Very profound. It's a secret method, no, it's a saint energy mantra. Lin Feng quickly judged. After reading it for the first time, there were not many conclusions. But one thing was certain, this Secrets of Imperial Void could be cultivated, and it could increase the attack power of a saint energy cultivator. Lin Feng concentrated and quickly flipped through the book again. Every time he read it, he was enlightened. After reading it 7 times, Lin Feng closed the Secrets of Imperial Void. Like a mantra, it increases layer by layer. The first volume of the Secrets of Imperial Void is the foundation for the cultivation of the Cyclone stage. The second volume has 4 secrets. The first level is equivalent to the cultivation of the Cloud stage. The second level is the Fetus stage, the third level is the Child stage, and the fourth level is the Nirvana stage. Using the secret method to condense and increase the Saint energy to produce an instant explosive power. The first level, double explosive power. The second level, triple explosive power. The third level, 5 times explosive power. The fourth level, 10 times. Lin Feng's heart trembled. 10 times explosive power, what kind of concept was that? It was not that he was infusing his true Dragon Saint energy with 10 times the amount. Instead, he was only able to produce 1 time of power, but he was able to produce 10 times the power without consuming too much energy. How terrifying was that? Moreover, it did not have any restrictions on its use. This is a true saint energy cultivator. Lin Feng sighed. He completely relied on the power of the true dragon saint energy itself. It was beyond the top of the first grade. If it was a martial artist, it would be like a martial artist with terrifying power, but unfamiliar with skills. A true saint energy cultivator relied on skills, such as a martial artist's blade technique and profound meaning. But I don't think I can cultivate here. Lin Feng hesitated. Without rhyme or reason, directly cultivating the 4th level was extremely difficult. Secrets of Void Manipulation, 1st volume, is very important. Lin Feng nodded. Although he could forcefully comprehend it, not only would it be a waste of time, but it was also very likely that he would fail or walk down a wrong path. There was no need to do that for the time being. Since he had found the 2nd volume, it was very likely that he could find the 1st volume as well. It should be a sect, Secrets of Void Manipulation? Warhawk was surprised. It's the secret technique of the Yushu Valley. Goran said, Yushu Valley is an ancient sect of saint power cultivators. They live in seclusion and rarely come out. In terms of saint power alone, they're one of the top 3 sects in the 33 continents. You're exaggerating. Warhawk chuckled. You can't find many Saint Force sects in the 33 continents. Everyone smiled. Saint Force cultivators were too rare in the 33 continents. Goran nodded. Indeed. For example, the Celestial Pavilion, which was ranked 1st among the top 10 sects, and the Valley of Enlightenment, which was ranked 3rd, both had branches of Saint Power cultivators. Generally speaking, it's 10 times easier to cultivate Holy Qi than Saint Power, and it's easier to reach the level of Nemo. Lin Feng understood. In this regard, the humans on Nemo were different from those on Earth. They didn't pay attention to the brain expanse and didn't have a particularly effective way to improve it. Usually, they hadn't reached 100% brain expanse by the end of the week. As long as the humans on Earth cultivated normally, from the cyclone stage to the Qi cloud stage, their brain expanse would basically reach 100%. And it was just the beginning for Saint Power cultivators. Does the Bloodmist Palace have secrets of void manipulation? Lin Feng asked. Goran shook his head. The top 10 sects have very few heart sutras, especially the Celestial Pavilion, the Nirvana sect, and the Valley of Enlightenment. As for the Yushu Valley, their Saint Power cultivators live in seclusion and rarely come in contact with us. Everyone laughed. Lin Feng also understood what Goran meant by contact. Where did the Blood Tower get their heart sutras? Plunder. After completing the task, they would steal the heart sutras while killing the disciples of other sections. Over time, they would accumulate more and more. But if they didn't come in contact with the Yushu Valley, they wouldn't be able to get their heart sutras, let alone the secrets of void manipulation, which was the secret scripture of the Yushu Valley. However, the Celestial Pavilion. He didn't believe the Nirvana sect and the Valley of Enlightenment didn't have any secret scriptures. It was just that the Blood Tower didn't want to get into trouble. I don't have secrets of void manipulation, but I have 33 hands of Imperial Object. Chueshua stretched out her soft hand and handed over a set of ancient books. Different from Secrets of Void Manipulation, which was thin, 33 hands of Imperial Object was as thick as a dictionary. Lin Feng reached out and took it. His eyes lit up. I've read it. It's also the secret scripture of the Yushu Valley. It's not suitable for me, Chueshua said. Golan smiled. Brother Lin, you're lucky. The Yushu Valley has 3 sets of secret scriptures. The first one is naturally the secret scripture of the Yushu Valley. It's very precious. As for the other 2 sets, one is the 33 hands of Imperial Manipulation, and the other is the Void Nirvana Gate. Although it's not as valuable as the Secret of Void Manipulation, it's still a top-class Saint Force technique. Lin Feng looked at Shueisha and smiled gratefully. Suddenly, 33 hands of imperial object, and the 33 golden feathers. Could they be related? Lin Feng thought. Naturally, it couldn't be so coincidental. The golden feathers were obviously the attack treasures of the Saint Power cultivators. As Gulan said, Saint Power cultivators were too rare. Not to mention 1 in 10,000, there might not even be 1 in a million warriors. Only 100 people had died in the desert. So, it was almost certain that the golden feathers belonged to the disciples of the Yushu Valley. He was surprised and happy. Although he didn't get the first volume of Secrets of Void Manipulation, 33 Hands of Imperial Object was also quite good. Just right, I don't know how to cultivate 10 flying daggers. Lin Feng quickly flipped through 33 Hands of Imperial Object. Compared to Secrets of Void Manipulation, this 33 Hands of Imperial Object was undoubtedly much simpler and focused on control. In terms of effect and rarity, it was indeed inferior to Secrets of Void Manipulation. A very smart idea. Lin Feng quickly read through it and understood a lot. The predecessor who created 33 Hands of Imperial Object was very smart. This was a completely different path from 10 flying daggers. 33 Hands of Imperial Object focused on a standardized routine, which greatly reduced the effort needed to control. Although the flexibility of control was not as good as 10 flying daggers, for an enemy who was not familiar with the routine of 33 Hands of Imperial Object, there was not much difference. The most important thing was that 10 flying daggers could only control 10 flying daggers, but 33 Hands of Imperial Object could at most control 33 types. Sure enough, it's those 33 golden feathers. Lin Feng smiled. Chapter 596. After resting for 3 days, they continued on their journey. Their strength had increased, especially Qianren and Shueisha, who were compatible with heaven-grade treasures. The two women's combat power had definitely reached the standard of 7 blood. There was no direct competition, but Lin Feng felt that the two women were secretly competing. The two peerless beauties of the Blood Tower were both competitive. Not bad, Lin Feng said in his heart. Healthy competition made people improve. Having a goal was not necessarily a bad thing. Warhawk, you're laughing so hard that your chin is about to fall off. Goran teased as they galloped. Lin Feng also smiled. The other one who was overjoyed was Warhawk. Brother Ying's luck was quite good. His income was almost twice that of Goran's. Including the 3 heaven-grade treasures, he had earned a total of 1.5 trillion Nemo coins. Hee. Warhawk just laughed dryly. Goran looked at him enviously. You've been wanting to buy Huanghuan Warblade for a long time. It was always out of your reach. Middle-grade Heavenly Saint weapon, 1 billion blood kill points. The information about Huanghuan Warblade appeared in Lin Feng's mind. He had seen it before. It was one of the few sword-type middle-grade Heavenly Saint weapons. It was equivalent to 1 billion Nemo coins. Warhawk said eagerly, not only that, but I can also buy a set of heaven-grade middle-grade armor and heaven-grade low-grade combat boots. Not to mention becoming a 7-blood assassin, with this set of equipment, I can definitely stand firm among the 7-blood assassins and be comparable to Boss Wild Bull. Sigh, you're lucky. Goran smiled bitterly and shook his head. I'm the weakest and the luckiest among the 5 of us. Everyone had earned more than 1 billion Nemo coins, but Goran had less than 800 billion. He was indeed unlucky. His individual combat power was also the weakest. Even with 800 billion Nemo coins, it could only help him barely reach the level of 7 blood. Every promotion mission was a solo mission. Don't worry, Brother Lon. The mission is not over yet. Maybe there will be something else, such as Golden Rocks relics, Lin Feng said with a smile. Everyone's eyes instantly lit up. That's right. Since the storage rings of Blood Tower 7's team had been found, it was also possible for Blood Tower 1's team to have been found. After all, they were all in the infernal realm. They wouldn't have grown legs and run away. Even Ji Qianqiu, who was ranked 5th, had a low-grade Heavenly Saint weapon and a low-grade Saint treasure. He was very rich. Hua! Gulan's eyes brightened. Find them. Warhawk's blood was boiling. Lin Feng looked at the two women with a smile, eager to give it a try. Money. No one would complain about having too much. Although they were looking forward to it, everyone became even more cautious. After all, they were all 6 blood assassins who had been through many battlefields. They knew the severity of the situation. That day, the 5 members of the Golden Rock Squad had died here without a sound. Moreover, they had crossed this desert and died on the 3rd day. Today was the 3rd day. Shua! Lin Feng could clearly sense his surroundings as he slowly advanced. Lin Feng's speed had decreased by half compared to the first day. Although his strength was not bad, he would never be careless. He knew very well that there was always someone better than him. This time, everyone did not rest. They were prepared to do it in one go. After resting for 3 days, they were full of energy. They had to complete the mission in one go. What exactly is it that can make an expert like the Golden Rock unable to escape? Warhawk murmured. I think it's more about the mission itself. Lin Feng said. The Golden Rock Squad should have encountered that desert as well. After all, it's a path they must pass. However, they chose to avoid it. As blood assassins, they are more focused on the mission itself than anything else. Everyone nodded. Since that was the case, they believed that the Golden Rock Squad would avoid other things as well. So, this mission might not be as simple as it seems, Lin Feng said. A rescue mission, Qianyu murmured. Go deep into the cursed demon area, destroy the demon den, and find and rescue the martial artists from various sects who have gone missing in the East Continent. Snow Chue said the mission's content word for word. There's nothing special about the mission alone. Lin Feng nodded. That was all there was to the mission's content. Before departure, everyone had discussed it in detail. The cursed demon area was located at the border of the Upper East Continent, close to the ancient seal of the Nirvana world. Black fog pervaded the area all year round, but no human who entered it had ever come out alive. It was obvious how powerful the demon clan was. Based on the Blood Tower's mission evaluation, there shouldn't be any fundamental mistakes, Goran said. Warhawk nodded. If the cursed demon area has an expert at the heavenly demon level, this mission should be classified as a 7-blood mission. There's always a flaw. Qianren shook his head. Snow Chue echoed. The giant pillar demon clan was an exception. Lin Feng was silent. Each had their own reasons. To be precise, the giant pillar demon clan was hidden under the quicksand, and it was extremely difficult to detect them. Plus, it was not part of the mission, so it could not be counted as part of the mission. However, the mission itself did not seem strange. Unless, there are 2 possibilities. First, the Blood Tower's mission evaluation is wrong. The Blood Tower had a special blood assassin responsible for mission evaluation, deciding whether to accept the mission difficulty, and mission detection. Generally, those responsible for mission evaluation were the retired 7 blood assassins and 8 blood assassins. However, as Qianren said, humans were not machines and could not always be accurate. For example, the Heavenly Demon Clan experts hid their aura, or in areas like the Blood Mist Forbidden Land. There was always a possibility. Second, from the mission evaluation to the death of Golden Rock and the others. Everything in the world changed in an instant. Every few days, a Heavenly Demon Clan expert would be born in the 33 continent. From the mission evaluation to the first failure of Blood Tower No. 7, and then to the death of Golden Rock and the others, many things could happen in 7 days. Perhaps a Heavenly Demon Clan expert was born in the demon area. Or an upper-level Xianming Earth Demon broke through to the Heavenly Demon Clan in the middle of the battle with Golden Rock. Lin Feng was not afraid. On the contrary, there was a kind of expectation and challenge. No matter which possibility, the appearance of a heavenly demon clan expert was not small. A heavenly demon clan expert who could kill Golden Rock and had the geographical advantage of the demon area was definitely comparable to a top 7 blood assassin. Such a battle made his blood boil. Qian Rin and Shueishu both have the battle strength of 7 blood assassins. Brother Ing and Brother Lan are experienced and their comprehensive battle strength is not bad. Plus my current battle strength. We can definitely complete the mission. Lin Feng was full of confidence. They had been in the cursed demon area for 2 days. In addition to the battle of the desert essence wood spirit, everyone had a good understanding of each other and could maximize their battle strength. Looking at Qian Ren and Shueishu in front of him fighting several Xianming earth demons, Lin Feng was leisurely and smiled. In fact, compared to the mission, he was more concerned about another thing. Why is there only the 2nd volume of The Secret of Void Manipulation? Lin Feng was very confused. Chapter 597. This was a strange phenomenon. Usually, the sect's treasured scriptures were only passed down to the sect leader, faction leader, and so on. As the Imperial Void Valley's secret scripture, the value of the Imperial Void secret scripture was undeniable. Usually, it was stored in the valley and hidden in a valuable place. Why would it be brought to the dangerous cursed demon region? Even if the owner of this storage ring is the Valley Master of the Imperial Void Valley, why is there only the 2nd half and not the 1st half? Lin Feng frowned. For example, the 33 Hands of Imperial Object was a complete set. Lin Feng was even more confused, but there was nothing he could do. The Imperial Void Valley is now buried in the world. It's still unknown if it still exists. It's quite difficult to find the 1st half of the Imperial Void secret scripture. Lin Feng pondered in his heart. He could choose not to learn other Heart Sutra martial arts sutra, but he definitely could not miss out on this secrets of void mastery. It could increase the power of the Saint Power by 10 times. It was terrifying. For example, if he could use the Imperial Void secret scripture to increase the power of the Saint Power by 10 times, the increase in power would be unimaginable. Although the control of objects depended on many aspects, not just the Saint Power, but also Feiluan Huan himself and the strength of the control, the overall power would be increased by at least 5 times. Previously, Luan Huanmia could kill an upper-level fierce god monster. Now, it's enough to kill a 7-blood assassin. With the Imperial Void secret scripture, even if it's an 8-blood assassin, I can kill him directly if he's caught off guard. Lin Feng thought to himself. His use of the Saint Power was too rough. He had wasted the true Dragon Saint Power, which was a super-grade Saint Power. Crimson Rainbow Killer? Lin Feng said softly. Yes, not many people know about this, but we know it very well. Gulan said, in order to obtain the Imperial Void secret scripture and the other 2 secret scriptures, the Crimson Rainbow Killer went to Shuelo and offered good conditions. However, Shuelo didn't participate in the end. But the Imperial Void Valley couldn't escape in the end and disappeared from the 33 continents. Lin Feng sighed softly. Although he sympathized with the Imperial Void Valley, that was all. No force could last forever. With the rise of a new force, there would naturally be the fall of the old ones. Those who couldn't keep up would be eliminated. The Imperial Void Valley had an absolute art that would make others jealous. However, without enough power to protect it, even if the Crimson Rainbow Killer didn't do it, the other factions would sooner or later. The 3rd sect in terms of swordsmanship and the 5th of the 10 great sections. Lin Feng knew the Crimson Rainbow Buddhist very well. One of the top 100 sects in the 33 continents. He knew it like the back of his hand. That's troublesome. Lin Feng frowned. If it had been a small sect, it would have been easy to deal with. They could have bought them with a large sum of money, coerced them with promises, or even become thieves. However, the Crimson Rainbow Monastery was ranked 5th among the 10 great sects. They were by no means ordinary. Basically, the top 10 sects all had Nye Mo powerhouses overseeing them, and often there was more than one. Don't worry, Offing. With your natural talent, I believe that you will definitely attract the attention of the 5 Hall Masters after this mission. Warhawk said, if you don't get the treatment of 9 blood directly, it will be easy for you to take the task of 7 blood promotion. At that time, you will be the key training target of Shuelo. There might not be such a superb secret of the Imperial Void, but there must be other slightly inferior Saint Energy Heart Sutras. Lin Feng smiled and nodded. But he had seen superb ones before. Would he cultivate a substandard one again? If worst comes to worst, I'll just start cultivating from the 4th level. Lin Feng had already prepared for the worst. They went straight in. With Lin Feng as the leader, the 5-man team was like a hot knife through butter. Blowing Snow, who had switched to a heaven-grade treasure sword, was so powerful that it left people speechless. Lin Feng also felt lucky. If Blowing Snow was so powerful that day, even if he won, it would have been a Pyrrhic victory. She was not good at defense, so it could be said that she used her sword and attack to the extreme. Compared to Blowing Snow, Qianren's strength was more balanced. She was proficient in the profound meaning of flowers, and now she had 2 heaven-grade defensive treasures. Her true combat strength was not inferior to Blowing Snow. The 2 girls tried their best to perform. The secret competition made Warhawk and Goran suffer unspeakably. Unfortunately, all the work was done by the 2 of them, and they couldn't snatch it from them. If the 2 girls worked together, Lin Feng would have a hard time winning even if he wanted to. A sword art at the peak of the 12th level. Lin Feng's eyes never left Blowing Snow. Her sword art had already reached the extreme level. Even in the Nirvana world, it was at the top. Learning from Blowing Snow's sword art realm and transforming it into his own blade art realm, Lin Feng was constantly improving his strength. This mission was just a warm-up. The Battle of Brilliance in 2 months was his real goal. Her sword art has already reached the limit of returning to its original state. Every move contains the essence of the sword. She has completely integrated the sword into her body. My blade is still too impeccable. Along the way, Lin Feng did not deliberately show off. The demon race experts mostly used Blowing Snow as practice targets. They observed Blowing Snow's sword art and turned to practice their own blade art. Their strength improved the fastest in battle. Especially Lin Feng himself, who had already comprehended the second move of the 7 limits, landslide, had mastered all the blade art and blade intent in his heart. The only thing he lacked was the blade art realm. Great weight without edge. Blade intent different from breaking the sea, the absolute weight of a mountain, this is landslide. The key lies in momentum. Little by little, his blade art had entered the 11th level. In fact, the path to the 12th level had already been opened. All that was left was to practice and practice until he completely grasped the essence of the 11th level. Then, his cultivation would naturally improve quickly. This little monster, Warhawk muttered, seeing Lin Feng's blade art realm break through bit by bit, emerging like bamboo shoots after the rain, and even surpassing him now. Warhawk's heart was crying. The feeling of the Yangtze River behind pushing on the previous, and the previous wave dying on the beach, was helpless and cruel. He watched Lin Feng enter the Blood Tower. At that time, he was already one of the best of the 6 blood killers. The guide even asked him to help take care of Lin Feng. But in just a few months, the one being taken care of now was already him. In the face of Lin Feng, the only remaining fig leaf was his blade art realm, but it was also torn off at this moment. His future is limitless. Warhawk looked at Lin Feng without jealousy or envy, just looking up at the rise of a new star. He will be more dazzling than Blood Shadow. The demon race fortress. Among the heavy guards stood a fiendish Xianming earth demon, looking incomparably ugly. But each of them was nearly 10 meters tall, exuding a strong dark aura, and their muscles seemed to be bursting, but the terrifying aura was just that of a guard. Ha ha ha, a coquettish and charming laughter sounded. Above a pile of broken skulls, exuding a suffocating horror, it was a woman who looked almost the same as a human, with a pair of eyes exuding a strange red light. Dark green stripes scattered on her plump and attractive dark bronze skin, exotic and beautiful. Happy Cooperation. Chapter 598. Step by step, they closed in. Lin Feng's group of 5 was like a hot knife through butter. Are we almost there? According to what that demon warrior said, it should be not far ahead. Lin Feng showed fighting spirit in his calmness. The mission itself was not that hard. The battles between demons were much crueler than humans. It was normal for demons to eat other demons' flesh and drink other demons' blood. Other than a bit of pity for those of the same race, there was only fighting and fighting. That demon shouldn't have lied to us, right? Blowing Snow did not understand the demon language. He wouldn't. Gulan explained. Lin Feng asked 3 different demon races, and they all pointed in that direction. As experienced 6 blood assassins, Gulan and Warhawk were not proficient in innate talent. Gulan and Warhawk naturally understood the language of the Mo race. Warhawk laughed heartily. The demons are not as scheming as the humans. To their race, they are actually eager to borrow our hands to get rid of the strongest mysterious underworld which Go Yao in the demon domain. High-level mysterious nether earth demon, Go Hor. Lin Feng's heart trembled. Although the demon territory was dangerous, it was not as confusing as the human cities. They only needed to ask for the mission and they would know. There were countless mysterious nether earth demons in the cursed demon territory, but they were all ugly body refining demon males. There was only one demon female. She had captured tens of thousands of human martial practitioners. This was not a secret in the demon territory. I heard that the witch's needs are great, it really is true. Battle Eagle clicked his tongue, causing Blowing Snow to blush. It might not be that, Gulan said. Gulan said, the demon clan is eccentric and hard to predict. The demon lady is even more temperamental. She might capture human warriors on a whim, or she might want to build a giant palace, or she might want to dig crystals. Lin Feng's eyes flashed. She might be the culprit that killed Golden Rock and the others. If I'm not wrong, she shouldn't just be a mysterious nether earth demon. She should be Sky Demon. Everyone's expressions became serious. Heavenly demons were existences that could rival human Nemo powerhouses. Even if they had just advanced, ordinary heavenly demons were not to be trifled with. This was because this was the demon domain. With the enhancement of the aura of darkness, ordinary heavenly demons could display the combat strength of a top 7 bloodline. Why her? Qianren was confused. Lin Feng said, it's a characteristic of the demon race. Men from the Devil Clan had stronger physiques, while women from the Devil Clan had stronger souls. It was easier for them to cultivate the devil heart, similar to the human saint power cultivators. I thought of 2 possibilities before, but I missed the third one. What? Everyone exclaimed in unison, revealing looks of shock. Lin Feng's eyes flickered. If a demoness who cultivates the demonic heart path is at the Skyfiend level, it's equivalent to a holy power cultivator advancing to the nirvana level. In terms of perception, it's better than a perfect body human. Unless it was a saint power cultivator at Nye Mo's level. Normal humans, even 9 blood assassins, cannot sense her. The key to sensing was the innate soul. In humans, where the sea of consciousness was located, the innate soul was like the heart of a demon. In the mission evaluation, when Blood Tower sent 8 blood assassins into the cursed demon territory, they basically relied on their perception to determine their strength level. Naturally, they could not sense a Skyfiend Devil Heart powerhouse. Just like ordinary human powerhouses, it was quite difficult to sense a perfect body human powerhouse. It's right ahead. Lin Feng quickly stopped. His brows furrowed slightly. It felt as if a pair of eyes from the sky had swept past them. It was just a feeling, but their hearts were incomparably clear. His gaze swept across everyone, but there was nothing unusual. Warhawk and the other three looked solemn, their fighting spirit surging. What do we do next? Warhawk looked over. Do we barge in directly? Or do we infiltrate step by step? Goran asked. The four of them were waiting for Lin Feng's orders. Unknowingly, they had already regarded Lin Feng as the leader. Lin Feng did not mind. He quickly scanned around and pointed to an empty ruin in front of him. Let's wait there. Wait? Everyone was stunned. Wait for who? Blowing Snow wondered. Wait for her. Lin Feng looked at the dark ancient castle in the distance. It was the crystallization of human effort. It symbolized the status of the demons. If we barge in, we will be very passive in the castle. We don't know how many traps are waiting for us. Goran hesitated. Then if we wait here, won't we become live targets? What are you afraid of? Lin Feng smiled. This is the demon domain, not the demon capital. The demons only exist in the form of tribes. The competition is fierce and they are hostile to each other. The small ones range from dozens to hundreds to thousands. The only ones who are a threat to us are the dark nether earth demons. How many of them are there in a tribe? Everyone nodded. Numbers did not mean everything. We have enough strength. Why should we be afraid of them? Lin Feng's eyes flashed. If we barge in, we will only be ambushed by them. Assassination and infiltration are more likely to be used by them. But here, all schemes and tricks are ineffective. What's left is a head-on clash of absolute strength. There's something you might not know. Lin Feng smiled calmly. Actually, just now she discovered us. Eh? Everyone was stunned. Go Yao, we have come to conquer you. Warhawk was not one to be left out. He directly shouted, causing the two girls to blush. Even Goran smiled helplessly. Amazing, Brother Ing. Lin Feng gave him a thumbs up. Heavenly Enchantress Go Yao could not pretend not to hear such a shout. If she did not come out, it would spread quickly and she would become a joke. As expected, the Devil Clan powerhouses who originally wanted to scheme against Lin Feng and the others instantly roared repeatedly. Rumble! Rumble, rumble! The entire dark castle shook violently. A violent aura of darkness surged out. In an instant, a group of fiendish demon experts waved their weapons. They were wearing giant armor and looked like they had emerged from the depths of hell. At a glance, they were densely packed. With the dark nether earth demons as the main force and the earth demon masters as support, there were several hundred of them. Haha, we finally came out. Warhawk's eyes were red as he unsheathed his saber. This time, we can finally fight to our heart's content. Goran's blood was also boiling. He did not have any burdens. The two girls were the same. Their faces were filled with fighting spirit. There was no nervousness or fear. They did not need to worry because he was here. With Lin Feng's strength, they could fight to their heart's content without any fear. Hiss! Hiss hiss! Lin Feng stretched out his hands. The lightning dragon turned into a whirlpool of lightning. Don't attack first. As soon as his voice fell, with Lin Feng as the center, lightning dragons shot from the center of the earth into the sky. They were boundlessly powerful. Shocking lightning intertwined, causing the stars to change and forming a giant whirlpool. Lin Feng's aura became crazily powerful. This was the mid-grade profound meaning of thunder. Heavenly Dipper Devil Thunder Formation. Lin Feng shouted. In an instant, the battle of the cursed demon domain was ignited. To be continued.